want to make sure that I acknowledge the sponsor of the show, Teach Hanley, because Teach Hanley sent me this new pack. They sent me the new Teach pack, so I just literally pulled the paper out, got it out of the mail, and I started going through it, and I got a little bit more excited than I should. You know what I'm saying? So they did send me the Teach pack, and I don't even know what this is yet. So I'm assuming this is what you get when you first order your Teach, and I don't know what this is. Oh, this is dope. This is absolutely dope. Is this a nail kit? Ladies, get this for the fellas. Fellas, don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. This is free. This just comes with it. 30% off your first order, plus 20% off for life. Literally. Oh, snaps. I didn't know that they were sending it like this. Real talk. So this is the nail kit that they sending you. All right, so now you ain't looking like a dusty. This is a free gift straight from Teach for the people that ordered the Teach. They got the small one for the little hands like mine's. They got the big joints for your toenails. And then they got the joints at the bottom too. You know what I'm saying? For y'all that's a little bit more crustier than usual. All right, so that's one of the free gifts that Teach got inside of the pack. And then what is this? Says squeeze a quarter size amount of Teach Hanley body wash on the center of the wet bristles. Lather, scrub, rinse, and repeat for the perfectly satisfying wash every time. So that's inside of there also, right? Ooh, I can get my rubber ducky on right here. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Teach for sending me that uncomplicated skincare for men. And then what we got in here? We got the actual Teach pack, right? So this is the normal Teach pack. But then they gave me the supersized joint for the people. They wanted me to show the people exactly what they got when they ordered that first Teach pack, when you're getting your 30% off your first order, and then you get your free gifts. You get 2 free gifts, and then the 20% off for life. So the 20% off for life is a new thing. And, dang, I ain't even got my keys on me to open this up. Maybe I can use the little nail clipper thing. I ain't got to buy no nail clipper for my new joint downtown. And then you get all of the washes, all of the scrubs, all of the AM, the PMs, and all of that stuff. So you got the whole thing inside of there for you to make sure you take care of yourself. But you got to make sure you take care of it every day, right? We don't want to miss days. We don't want to be looking like dusties. It does not absolve you from being able to make sure that you brush your teeth. Brush your teeth. It don't fix the teeth problem. Don't fix you ironing your clothes. Don't fix you being able to take care of your business. But it absolutely makes sure that your skin is phenomenal, even when you go in between shaves. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Teach Hanley. We absolutely appreciate you. Thank you for continuing to hold us down. I might do an official Teach commercial, but I like just talking authentically to the people. I like giving the people the authentic look of what it is that you're dealing with, and I want you to hear from me personally. Because anybody can do that little pitch and they can make some little videos, but very few of us can actually speak to the products of exactly what it is that you're supposed to use. So yeah, Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order and then 20% off for life. That's the Anton Daniels pack, 20% off for life. Using any other Teach pack, make sure that you go ahead and let that go. And make sure you tap into the link that's in the description and take care of it, all right? What's going on is Anton from antondaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. It's the crew, Slimmy, Quentin in the building. What's going on, family?
What's happening? What's the
Chilling,
word?
man. Just happy to be back home.
Sir.
Always happy to be back home. What up, Quentin?
What's Gucci Hoochies?
What?
Y'all did anything interesting over the holidays that needs to be discussed, or y'all just was chilling?
And I was chilling, man. I was skating, and
You do
it was
skate a
some.
lot.
Yeah, man. It was
What
some
got you
women.
into skating so much? What got you into skating so much?
Oh, my cousin one day he was just like, "Man, I want to get back into skating. I never had nobody to go with." And I was just like, "Shit, I'll go. I don't know how to skate." And I went. It was like 2 years ago, and we just been rocking ever since. I
That's
had
what's
some
up.
injuries though, but yeah, I love it, man. I like to dance, so you just dancing on wheels. Like, wait, I
Yeah,
guess
that's what's
that's
up.
the best way to put it.
All right,
Yeah,
so
it's long
friends
as
and
hell.
family in the chat, we appreciate y'all. We're gonna give y'all at least a good hour and a half. And so that's what I'm gonna shoot for. I literally just got off the plane myself, personally. I jumped off the plane, came straight down here, washed my hands, brushed my teeth, jumped in the shower, and jumped on the live stream. So met a lot of people on the plane, met a lot of people in the airport. Didn't hang out at all in Dallas. It was just straight
Damn.
there, straight to the hotel. Work live stream last night. What's today? Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll be losing track
Yes,
of
sir.
time. So, did that. Went to sleep. Woke up early in the morning. Got back to work. Live stream. Got in the shower. Headed straight to the studio. Filmed all day, and then came straight back to the shot straight to the airport. Jumped on the plane. Came here. Came down, and started live streaming. That's how we get it. So we
Yes,
got a good
sir.
show for y'all today. We're gonna discuss some things, and so I want to get everybody's opinions on everything. We probably gonna do like 4 or 5 rapid fire subjects, and we just gonna get our thoughts. We got a couple videos that we're gonna play for y'all, and we're gonna get to it. All right. So the first thing that I want to get to, and again, I appreciate everybody that's in the chat: Treese, Big Pressure, Executive Suite, Molly in the building, High Tolerance, Loso, Ryan James, Samantha, Our Streets. Uh, is at Chicago, Gen 773, Trini Life, Chris G, Irvin, Cornell, everybody that's chatting, everybody that be in the clouds that don't even be typing nothing in the chat. I appreciate y'all too. Cause I know that y'all don't be
Yes,
getting no
sir.
recognition, but I definitely want to recognize y'all also. Before I get into anything, I want to get into Dr. Phil, right? So this is my second time being on Dr. Phil or filming with Dr. Phil. And every time it get better because I learn a lot, right? So I'm gonna give it to y'all from 2 different perspectives. So I learn a lot because I get to go in and see how they do it on a larger scale. And Dr. Phil really gave me a lot of game this time. So I'm gonna talk about that. But one of the other things that I experienced, and I never like, I know a lot of people that got visibility, they charge for appearance fees and stuff like that. I never do that. I've never charged for an appearance fee because I feel like they giving me game, and so I'm looking to learn from them instead of making money from them. And again, it's the second time that I've been there, so it's absolutely awesome. But he's recently filmed with Trump, and he's filmed with a lot of other people. And then he also said that he told me that he invited Kamala Harris. Well, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz reached out to him after Trump was on the platform. So number one, I can't stand her. I'll get to her in a minute. Because they such some biting me too ass motherfuckers. But I was there. I didn't realize that I was coming in, and then the show before me because they shoot so many different rapper shows. It was Stephen A. Smith was there, and Ben Carson was there, and so that shit got tumultuous. You know what I'm saying? So I had my own dressing room and everything like that, right? So then they do multiple different shows. So Ben Carson, one of the greatest minds that I've ever heard of in my entire life. Stephen A. Smith, they was there. Um, I said some pretty wild shit as usual. So, and I didn't film with them. I filmed on a completely different show on my own show. I said some pretty wild shit. Uh, as usual. I mean, but that's why they brought me in because they watch my content. They love what I got going on. I think that y'all gonna love it. It's not nothing that y'all wouldn't expect for me to do. So I told a dude that he need to get out of his feminine energy. We were supposed to be talking about money, but I told that motherfucker he need to get out of his feminine energy. He was like, whatever. He was going back off of trying to go off on me. I said, dog, I know you're emotional. I said, but I got a bunch of bag chasers. We deep on Patreon. How come I don't know your name? I said, man, when you get so weak? The audience is like, "Oh my god!" I said, listen, bro, dog. I said, you too broke to talk to me. You too broke to talk to me. And then the other
On
girl
Dr.
said,
Phil?
"Yeah, I was saying that shit on Dr. Phil." The other girl across from me come in and she
Shit.
says, "Well, I have something to say to you, and I do like your glasses." I said, "They expensive as hell." I was talking big shit. And so Dr. Phil was like, even Dr. Phil was looking at me like crazy. And it's funny because in between every take, he would pull me to the side and he was like, "Yo, what are you working on? What do you got this going on or whatever?" So I thought that I was just gonna come in and do the show or whatever. And then after I kicked it with him, he went to the side and we took some pictures together. And he was asking me about my real estate and my businesses and my visibility and stuff. And so he was trying to learn a lot about me. And then he told me some stuff that I didn't even know. Man, Dr. Phil is fucking balling, dog. I
Mm,
mean, balling. I'll give you an example. He said, he said, "Have you ever heard of Chime?" I said, "Yeah, that's the online banking platform. You know, it's like a mobile banking platform." He said, "Yeah, me and my people started it."
mm,
He
mm.
said, yeah, at one point it had a $50 billion valuation. He said, but you know, it goes up and down with the market, and so it's topsy turvy. I said, "Really, Dr. Phil?" He said, "Yeah, man." And so then he asked him to give me a tour of the whole studio. I thought that he only shot Dr. Phil's show down there. Dr. Phil owned a fucking media company, bro. He got his own like an app for a news company. He gave me this pen too. He got not a pen, but he gave me this little thing. I forgot that he gave it to me. I put it in my backpack. They gave me a whole tour of the studio and shit. I wasn't expecting that. They wanted to give me a tour of the studio, and then they pulled me to the side to record some additional content. They like did a whole interview of me, like getting my perspective on politics and money and all of that shit. It's called Merritt Street Media. I don't know where it came from. It's called Merritt Street Media. So yeah,
Damn.
it was a very interesting experience. It was a really interesting experience. So man, Dr. Phil is balling, bro. Yeah, I know he started with Oprah, but he balling. What up, Mika? Mika, back from her vacation. Yeah, Dr. Phil is balling,
Mika.
bro. So it was an interesting experience. Um, I will say this: the reason why I'm so relentless in my pursuit of success and stuff, and why I never miss, is because you don't know when the opportunity present itself. It's so many different people that watch. It's so many different people that is interested and is fans. And I'm talking about media producers, celebrities, everything. I went and seen they news stuff and all of that. So I'm not gonna say too much more about that. But I'm just saying that you don't know the opportunities that come along with a lot of the stuff that we do. And so a lot of times, for all of y'all that's out there that's watching this, and for anybody that's observing, let me tell you something. I know y'all like to slack off. I know y'all think that it's easy. I know y'all just appear any old fucking way. When I pull up, I'm tight. I'm well rested. My beard is tight. My skin look good. My nails is clipped. I got good energy. My clothes is looking good. I treat everybody well. I talk to the drivers. I tip the drivers that take me back and forth to the airport, to the hotel, and back to the airport and to the hotel. I treat all of the producers. Me and them got a great relationship. We follow each other. You know what I'm saying? So I am prepared 100% of the time. I'm prepared every time I come on these live streams. I'm prepared every time I do a video. I'm prepared when I meet people in person. And so that's where the success comes from. People don't understand that when you ready and you ready 100% of the time and then the cameras come on, or when people invite you somewhere, or you get the invite based off of the dedication that you put into your craft, that's where the real jewels come from. And you don't know when the opportunity is going to come, but when it comes, you deliver. You over prepare, you over deliver, and you hit it every single time. And that's one of the biggest things. And I go in and I observe and I watch people and I have conversations and I'm learning and they teaching me stuff and they giving me tours and stuff. That's where the real gems are. And it's so tripped out because I just be wishing sometimes that I could just give people the game. Like I could really show them, like I could put them in my brain and give them that level of preparation and dedication. But people, I don't know, man. It's just like people don't want it. Like they don't dedicate themselves. It's almost like it's just nonchalant. Somebody's phone is going off. But I don't know, man. It's a weird dynamic, bro. It's a weird dynamic, but I don't know. Y'all got any thoughts before we continue on with the show?
It's dope that you get that experience, man, and you learn from it, and you can apply it to everything else. You know, like moving forward, like you can apply it to your studio. You can apply it to the bag chasers.
Yeah.
It's a great experience. You know, and it funnels and it's a trickle down effect that everybody else can learn from as well. Just
Yeah,
gotta
it's
take it.
fun.
People gotta take advantage of it.
It's great, but I don't know. I kind of realized, like, even talking to the people on the stage, it's funny because when we was going back and forth, um, like the guy that I wound up calling weak, for example, right? I was sitting next to him in the audience, and then they bring us up during different segments depending on who turn it is to talk. And we was cool. Like, he when he first seen me, because he didn't know what I was there for, he didn't know who I was, and none of that. And we was real cool. And he was all excited and telling me how nervous he was and stuff like that to be on the show and everything like that. And then once the show started, and I started decimating that nigga, and I do what I do. And then after the cameras cut off, I was like, "All right, guys, how y'all doing? How's everybody going?" And they were still broken up about it. Like, they was emotional. And I just realized that everybody not built like me. Everybody don't look like, what I'm saying, don't look at it like I do. They just not, everybody, it's not for everybody. So it's funny to see how people that may or may not be as seasoned in doing what I do get emotional about it. They was angry even after the show. I ain't give a fuck though. So so I don't know. That's just my experience with film, and I don't want to say too much more because y'all gonna see the rest of it on the show.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's
I don't
gonna
know
be
if y'all
fire.
got anything else. Quentin is
So are
extra
those just
quiet.
like normal? Is it just like normal people, or are they like well known people in
Yeah,
the
it
film
was
scene?
one girl that was she was really, really cute. A really cute white girl. Um and she was living van life because she was broke as fuck and living in her car. Um and it was another
Oh,
married couple, white couple. And I said it to him. I don't know if they're gonna keep that in the segment or not. And I said, y'all are very disappointing to me because y'all out here, the audience was like, oh my God. You could hear all of the moaning and groaning. And I said, y'all white and y'all out here suffering?
What? Hey man, he was on some other stuff.
I mean, I was just saying, like, all of y'all are. I said, y'all gonna let a young guy from Detroit come up here and stun on y'all that grew up with nothing and y'all had everything and y'all out here fumbling the bag? And I was on 10. I was on
hmm.
10. So, I just call it like it is. I said, all of y'all victims, y'all running in the victim Olympics, and y'all need to grow the fuck up. So, you know me, I don't give a fuck. Like, I just say what I say and I mean what I said. So Dr. Phil said, "You're so arrogant. I would never hire you." I started to say to
What?
Dr. Phil, I
What?
said,
That's rude.
he said, "You're not wrong, but you're so arrogant. I don't know if I will hire you." And then when the camera would go off, he was like, "So what you got going on? What you working on?" Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's good energy. It's good energy. So yep. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll show y'all. I mean, I'll let y'all know when it airs, and then we'll go from there. So I don't know if y'all got any final thoughts before we move over to the next thing. I'll read a couple of super
would
chats. I'll take a phone call too.
would it so like would you do that? Would you do that with anybody else of that caliber, or
What
are
you
you
mean? Would I
just
do
cool
what?
with a show like that? Like, would you go on like Oprah or?
I go on all shows. Hell yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
I would go on all shows. Any show that invite me, I'm gonna say yes to. Fox News, Dr. Phil. I got some other ones that we talking to too. We just don't know if it fit into the schedule. But I go on all of them.
Hmm.
Hell yeah, I go on all of them. 100%.
I was just curious.
Yeah,
You
why
know, you
why
know
wouldn't I?
they gonna
Why
go
why,
in
why
there.
do you think that I
They gonna
wouldn't?
they gonna go in there. They gonna be trying to attack you.
Oh,
But
I'm
like
cool
you
with
said,
that.
if you prepared, I mean, I
Man,
guess it won't
listen,
matter.
listen. It's nothing that an international show or a national show can ever fucking say to me that I have not already experienced on YouTube.
Yeah, that's
That's a
true.
fact. Like, listen, we have Fight Club. That's a fucking gauntlet.
Yeah, that's true.
Nothing
Fight Club
ever
is
will ever
insane.
ever prepare you more for the internet than some of the shit that people say about you and the lies they make about you and the videos they make about you, and people getting in. Man, listen, ain't nobody worried about no little white people or no little victim Olympic black people coming up there and feeling some type of way about me. I told it's so funny. I'll tell y'all this last part. So the guy, he was mad. So he had a business for 7 years, and it was like a ice cream or a yogurt place or whatever, and he was doing well. And inflation kicked his ass, and he wound up having to lay everybody off and close the doors. And
Mm.
so I came up there and I was like, man, this is self-inflicted wounds. You over there, you over leveraged yourself in debt. You taking out bad loans. You over there got too many student loans, and now you want to blame the system. And you a white lady, get the fuck out of here. Now I was just talking shit, right? I was just calling people out and telling them what there was. And so the man, he was all shaking and looking like he was about to cry next to me. The guy that shut his store. And I said, he was like, you're not compassionate. I said, man, when did you get so weak? So why are you so weak? Well, I'm not weak. I'm tougher than you. I said, Doc, he emotional right now. We don't talk to people that's in their emotions. I don't even know. I said, man, listen. I said, look, I tell you what, say something again. He said something else. I said, that's all right. I said, I promise you this. This is what I said on national TV. I said, I promise you this. I'm going to find out where you close your store and I'm going to buy it. And I'm going to reopen it under your same name. I was talking mad
Sheesh.
shit. Like, I'm like, who are you talking to? But I was chilling. I was just absolutely I said, I'm gonna find your store. Wherever you are, wherever you from, I'm gonna find out where your store is and I'm gonna buy it. The audience was like, oh my God. Oh
So you,
Jesus.
so you was more the villain.
Yeah, I was a villain, but I was right. And Dr. Phil agreed with me at the end of it. I was right. He just said that I'm mean, I'm too mean. So I don't know. I shouted out my Patreon members though. Shout out to the bag chasers. You'll see. A lot of people thought that I didn't say what I said when I was on Dr. Phil the first time, but we'll see.
Why people don't think like cause folks get more exposure, they're not gonna be themselves. So.
They brought me on there because they follow my show. The producers follow my show, and they know how I talk. They know that I say fuck your feelings. They know that I say wild stuff, and so they brought me on there knowing what I was gonna do, and they encouraged me. They incentivized me to. So I was like, okay. I said I could be me. I could say what I really think. They say we want you to say whatever you want to say. We know who you are. I said, okay, cool. Producers came in there and they talked to me before they gave me what the show was gonna be about. All right, cool. Well, I'm gonna say my shit. I'm gonna talk my shit. And so they asked me to. They told me to talk my stuff.
No,
So
no, no, but not them. But like I guess you could say the people on YouTube or why do you think why do they feel like just because folks get more exposure,
mhm.
they're not gonna be who they are? Like
I think that a
shit
lot
ain't
of
just gonna
people are
change
scared.
folks.
I think that a lot of people try to change and they try to be more corporate or they try to be more, that when they get on different shows and when they get higher visibility. I'm not that because I'm not looking for an opportunity. I'm looking to leverage the opportunity to get more visibility, but I don't need nothing from nobody. So I'm gonna be whatever it is and I'm gonna be. I understand entertainment, I understand show business, and I also understand that, when you authentically you is probably the most shocking and disrespectful thing to people, but it's not really disrespectful, it's just the truth. A lot of people running in the victim Olympics and a lot of people got self-inflicted wounds, and I just call it out. I call out the bullshit. One couple was making $8,000 a month combined take home. I said, it ain't no reason. Y'all ain't even got nothing. There's no reason why y'all should be broke. Like I was just calling it like it was. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, it was what it was. Let me read a few of these super chats and then I'm gonna take a couple phone calls. We can move on with the next conversation. Tappy in production says, "Are you going over the Trump interview with Lex Friedman?" I didn't even know that he had an interview with Lex Friedman, but I'll check it out. Thank you. Shout out to my dog Georgia Giant Slayer says, "All hail Anton." Shout out. I'm gonna be on there. I think is it next weekend? We doing Georgia Giant Slayer next weekend, Rita? The Sunday coming up. Shout out to Georgia Giant Slayer. Y'all can catch me on Georgia Giant Slayer this Sunday. All hail Anton. Love your show and the insight that you share and the common sense you bring in crazy times. Can't wait to watch a Dr. Phil episode. Wishing you the best always for it. Shout out to my guy Georgia Giant Slayer. We be cooking up over there. AR Smitty in the building says you love to see it. 30 million loading. I think the number might go up in a minute. Craig G says Anton Bag Chasers 100. Dr. Phil is my guy. It's the people that's on Dr. Phil. So shout out to Craig G. Let me take a couple of phone calls and then we're gonna go from there. Mike, what up, Mike?
Sir, how you doing? Good to see you again.
Chilling,
I had
chilling,
a
my
question.
friend.
Yeah, I mean, with you having, you guys just referenced it, with you having so many followers and so much influence, and having almost 90 million views, 5,100 uploads. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever thought about doing a private Patreon just to tell people your journey, and if they were trying to get into the same thing, of maybe political discussion or maybe cultural discussion on how they could achieve that, being the success you have?
I mean, I could do a mastermind session on it. I usually do it like I've done previous mastermind sessions inside of the YouTube, inside of the Patreon. Like they all still up. All of my old mastermind sessions and stuff is up. But I can do a new one, like if you want me to. Do you want me to do a new one?
Yeah, I mean, just to
Because I'm not
see,
gonna tell I'm not gonna tell all of my strategies here, like on just regular YouTube, but I'll tell y'all I'm writing it down right now. I'll tell y'all on the mastermind session on the Patreon if
yeah,
that's
that
what y'all want.
Yeah, that's why I was asking behind a paywall or something, just because the success that you've gotten, and then being strategic in the topics that you cover, and also being able to capitalize on the moments like the Dr. Phil and then the Fox News and different things like that. But being
Yeah.
able to capitalize to where it builds your brand. I think some of us young creators that are doing different things or similar, even trying to get into our own niche, would benefit
It's
from
so
something
funny
like
that you
that.
say
So
that because yeah, I set that up. So I'll do that right after I do the right after we do stock club this week. The next thing that I do is I'll do a mastermind session about it. I got so much information. And it's funny because I actually want to share that type of stuff publicly, but I just can't. I'm not giving that out for free. No fucking way. It's gonna have to be to the bag chaser. So if you're a bag chaser, you can ask all of the questions. I'll give you all of the information. I'll show you the numbers. I'll show you what it is that I make. I'll show you how I make way more money than people that got way more subscribers than me. I'll go through all of that. So yeah, I'll do it. Shout out to
okay,
you.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. I'll set it up for not this week, but next week. I'll set it up for next week.
okay. And that'll be on the back text on the Patreon.
Yep, it's gonna be 100% on the Patreon. I'll do a whole mastermind session on it. It'll
Okay,
probably
we'll go
be
ahead and
like
sign
two
up.
hours. It'll be like 2 hours. So,
Okay, sir. Thank you for your time, man.
all right, big dog. Thank you.
All right.
Let me take a couple more calls. Um, Styles, you there?
Yeah, what's up?
What's up, big dog? What's the word?
Um, I was watching your replay from earlier, and you was talking about who's been polled,
Uh
and I got tricked into get to doing a poll the other day.
Did you? How did they trick you?
Yeah. So I'm a photographer, and I'm about to do New York Fashion Week,
Okay.
and
When is New York Fashion
and
Week?
um it actually started today.
Oh man, I should be out there. I'm gonna do the one in Paris. I'm gonna do one in Paris.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Oh,
So
Milan. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
anyways, I'm doing this like survey, right?
Hmm.
And it started out like about pets or some shit.
Hmm.
And then it just segued into Kamala Harris all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
and it was it was asking me questions about you know um Kamala Harris says she's going to do this. Do you disagree? Strongly agree. You know what I'm saying? So it started with
Mhm.
like, do you strongly agree at the top, and everything in the middle down to strongly disagree, right?
Yeah.
So I'm answering questions, and my questions are conservative leaning, like my answers. And so they would throw on a Kamala ad that I couldn't skip.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then they would ask me a question that they asked me earlier, and I would just be like, "Damn, they asked me that already," and I just hit what I hit before. But then when I paid attention, I saw when they re-asked the questions, they would switch the order
Mm.
of the
How long
multiple
ago did you take it? How long
choice
ago did you take it?
questions
How
2 days
long?
ago.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that I
So
guess that
so
I guess that can make sense if you getting tricked into doing it. But yeah, that's interesting.
no, but I was actually tricked into answering their, what I'm saying, their way until I caught it. Because it was like muscle memory, because strongly agree was always at the top. And all of a sudden, when they would re-ask the questions, strongly disagree would be at the top.
Oh,
And then
okay. So
strongly
then they
agree would be
switched
at
it
the
up and
bottom.
yeah, I got you.
Right.
But then
So
that would
so you know
make
what I'm saying? I
the
was just
polls is not really accurate then if they doing it like that.
exactly. Exactly.
Yep, I got
Yeah,
you.
I peeped that game the other day. But yeah, that's why I wanted to call you. When I saw that earlier, I was like, yeah, I'm calling tonight.
Thank you, Styles, man. I appreciate you, big dog. Thank you for tapping in, big bro.
Yeah, no doubt. Thank you.
All right, big bro. I'll take one more call and then we're gonna go over to the next thing. Jalen, what up, Jalen?
What's up? Oh shit. What's up, Mr. Daniels? What's
What's
up,
up,
Quentin?
Jalen? What you
What's
got for
up?
me,
What's
bro?
up, Slimmy?
What's poppin'?
I've been watching your channel for like hold on. I've been watching your channel, The Millionaire Morning Show, for going on 2 years now.
Shout out
You
to you.
basically you basically opened my eyes for a lot, you know what I mean? And when I was in college, and I just got two questions and one closeout for you.
Okay.
Um, why do you think like majority of black people is so ashamed of taking accountability for like what's going on within the culture?
Oh, that's because they've everybody around them is validating them and nobody is actually I'm gonna mute you for a second because I got a lot of feedback. A lot of people, a lot of people are used to people validating their feelings instead of holding them accountable for their feelings. So what you'll see in the culture is people, and it's also the responsibility of the person, right? Because they'll gravitate to the thing that makes them feel good. They don't gravitate to the thing that's gonna solve for their problem. You know what I'm saying? We even when it comes to the medicines that we take and stuff, we don't try to solve for the issue that we have. We just treat the symptoms. And so what you see the same thing in black culture, but you just see it exponentially more because we grow up in environments where now it's even worse because we really not held accountable. We not raised in households with our fathers and stuff. And so what'll happen is we just want to join a group of people that agree with us. We're not trying to have conversations with people that can give us more insight and information. So you're never gonna get accountability as long as people is getting coddled. You'll never get
Hmm.
accountability as long as people is getting coddled. So what was the second question?
All right. And the second question is, why does, like, I know a lot of drugs and whatnot, catch on to other communities though, but
Hmm.
why does when black, the black community catch on to these drugs, it just absolutely wipe them out? Cause I was getting my hair cut today in another episode, cause I'm slick in the hood, whatnot. You can call it that, but they treated the hood like that. I'm in Atlanta, and it's just like a man just
Well,
lashed out or
you
whatnot.
got to
He
think
had
about
took
it
like
like
this
this.
little.
You in a community where it's a lot of black people. And so because of proximity and because of the majority of the people that surround you is doing it, it's going to seem like it's wiping them out. But I will tell you this. This is one issue that is truly bipartisan, right? And that it wipes out everybody. The opioid crisis kicked ass. Meth is absolutely beating the ass of these white people. Pill popping is a thing amongst all communities. Fentanyl, all you got to do is go to Philadelphia. If you walk down the streets of Philadelphia, you'll realize that it ain't got no names no more. It's kicking white people ass. It's kicking black people ass. You probably
Damn.
just seeing it based off of proximity, but I'm telling you that the fentanyl, dope, drugs. As a matter of fact, I'll do it like this. Even when it came to crack kicking people's butt in the 80s and stuff, I'm gonna try not to cuss as much because I've seen people say that they at work and they want to watch me at work. Even when it came to like crack in the 80s and stuff, before crack, you had coke, right? And when you had coke, that was largely considered a white person's drug. It was considered a rich man's drug, right? And so they were
Mhm.
doing it as an aphrodisiac. They was doing it just recreationally, and it was a party drug. And when they started cooking it up and hardening it up and then and throwing the baking soda in it, you know what I'm saying? And they start mastering it and making it cheaper in order to be able to get it out and get it for more, mass producing it more and breaking it down and chopping it up. And then and you know what I'm saying, throwing all of the extra preservatives inside of it in order for them to be able to still make more profit and sell it at the same price because it wasn't as pure and stuff like that. Then it absolutely decimated the urban community because it was so addictive and they started smoking it. When they was snorting it, it was different. When they started smoking it as a rock, it hit different. And then you had heroin that started to hit too. And so it was so addictive. What's happening now is people are dying from it because they busting it down with fentanyl, and a lot of that fentanyl is coming from over there in China. So it's just a
Mhm.
different wave, and then you had the opioid crisis and stuff, but it ain't got no names no more. It's kicking everybody's butt.
Yeah, man. And then my closeout is, I'm still looking for that coaching call. I had emailed you. Just look out for the email, jy47 at gmail.com. Look out for that email.
JY47.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, bet.
All right, and then also I got an upcoming YouTube called Totally About Nothing, and you can just watch it or whatnot if whatever on your free time. Just
Totally about nothing. I got you. All right.
yeah, appreciate it, man. Peace
All right,
out.
big dog.
For sure, for sure.
All right, thanks, my friend. All right, so let me y'all can call in throughout the show and I'm gonna get y'all in between the segments. Say a couple of super chats, and then I want to add we're gonna go into the Roland Martin thing. Roblox and stuff said that this is his son YouTube, by the way, and excuse the name, like you gave him your account so you can monitor. Firmly believe I have your exact mindset. Shout out to Roblox and stuff. I appreciate you. AR Smitty says today's price is not yesterday's price. That's a fact. Brian Kendrick in the building says, been brainwashed and shamed. Facts and accountability too. For me, once I got it saved, opened my eyes. Check out Brian. I appreciate you, big dog. All right, y'all. Let's pivot for a second, and I want to get y'all thoughts on this. So, hold on one second. Let me look at this. All right, we there. So I don't want to play the video, because I don't want to. If anybody's seen it on X, you can go and see it on X. Roland Martin was live streaming and he was actually trying to go off on Tyree. So he used his platform in order to get at Jermaine Dupri previously when Jermaine Dupri asked a question on X about what is Kamala Harris going to do and why she hasn't leveraged her position to be able to do anything inside of the White House now. I didn't watch it because I don't really like Roland Martin, but I thought about reacting to it, but it was too many other things to get to in. And only time you're gonna ever see me react to Roland Martin is if it's a very, very slow news day, and I don't get that many emails. But Roland Martin was leveraging the opportunity to go off on Tyrese and trying to hold him accountable. And so he played a clip from Tyrese, and then he scrolled up, and it showed a man butt. Did y'all see it?
No, I did not see that part.
You
Hell
didn't see
no.
that? All right, so Roland Martin.
Hell no.
All right, so when people was telling me this morning on on the Millionaire Morning Show, first thing I did was I went offline and I went to X to go and see it because obviously you're not really gonna find it on YouTube. You're gonna find people talking about it. They may show a piece of the clip, but X is truly the best platform. X, formerly known as Twitter, is a much better platform than what it used to be before Elon Musk bought it. It's truly turning into a great platform. That's where I really go to get my information out.
Y'all both
So I went and
know.
watched the video, and thank you, Yakara. I appreciate you, big dog. I went and watched the video, and he played it, and as soon as he closed it out, you seen a man butt walking down the naked hallway. All right, and so a lot of people were saying, I'm gonna get a full context, and then I want to get y'all thoughts. A lot of people were saying, "Oh my God, Roland Martin, he's zesty." Um, I give y'all my thoughts on that in a minute too. And then I did a little bit more deep dive into research, and I found out that it's a new show, and I don't know if it's on HBO or what, but it's a new show that's coming out. I guess everybody come and meet naked or something like that, right?
Good lord.
Um, it's not something that's ever popped up on my algorithm personally. I don't ever see nothing like that. But apparently, Roland Martin's algorithm, or he was watching it outside of that, right? So a lot of people are trying to say that no, he not. You can't prove that he's zesty or that he's sassy. But again, it was on his timeline and whatever it was that he was watching. What are your thoughts on Roland Martin?
So he a sassy coon.
I don't know what he is. But what have y'all ever like watched Roland Martin or experienced him, or what are y'all thoughts on Roland Martin in general, if y'all have any?
I mean, he's just a typical. I don't even know
Don't
if
don't
he's a
say the C
politician.
word.
I
Don't
don't
say
know.
don't say the C word. But go ahead.
Oh, all right. Well, he just. I don't know if he's a politician. I don't really know what he is. Like, but he just,
Here, let
man,
me
he
give you a little
just.
bit of insight on Roland Martin. So Roland
He's a
Martin is, I think he's an alpha, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I know he's a part of the Divine Nine. So he is a part of
Oh,
fraternities. So yes, that factors into the whole Kamala Harris campaign. He's also a political commentator. So he used to work for major networks. He wound up starting his own thing. He does have a large following. He has 1 million+ subscribers on his platform. He has a large following, and people look to him for his political commentary and his perspective on issues, especially with regard to politics and black people. And he's very, very liberal, left leaning, very supportive of Democrats, very critical of Trump, very critical of Republicans. And anytime that anybody says anything in the black community about Kamala Harris or questions her, he kind of goes off an attacker. He went off with attack them. He attacked Jermaine Dupri. He was going back and forth about Tyrese and what he was saying to Ben Crump on the live stream. So Roland Martin is a part of the old guard, and he's also a part of the Divine Nine, and so on and so forth. So that's kind of a summary of Roland Martin in a nutshell, very quickly.
yeah. Every time I see him, he just seemed like he always pretty much thinking like somebody who I guess you could say is more so like a gatekeeper,
Mm-hmm.
and they just promote in a certain way where I things that I feel people are brainwashed into thinking, pretty much. Things that I feel people are brainwashed into thinking. Like, yeah, you gotta vote Democratic. I was the same way. I used to vote Democratic. I voted for Obama. And then once I seen like he didn't do nothing, I was like, okay, I'm done with this. And it
Mm-hmm.
seems like Roland Martin is somebody who's going to actually keep trying to keep trying to continue to press that issue to keep people voting Democratic just because you're black. That's
Yeah.
just what I get from him. That's what I got from him.
didn't
Every
he
time I hear him speak,
didn't he interview old Tiffany and let her
Yeah, she
and
went
let
to his
and let
platform. She went to his
and like
platform and she finessed him. And then he tried to come back afterwards and tried to act like, oh, I'm going to hold her accountable for lying to me. Yeah, I thought that it was a very bad interview, but
yeah, he
it
got
is
lied
what it
to.
is.
Everybody knew she was lying in real time, but him.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty obvious. I think that was the last time that I ever reviewed anything on his platform was to review that, but he didn't press her in an interview or nothing like that. He was a horrible interviewer.
I feel like him and Jason Whitlock would be good friends.
Jason, I don't think Jason like him.
huh?
Jason Whitlock is a conservative.
I
No, he's
know, but I
not.
feel like
He ain't
I feel
gonna.
like they'd be friends though. Like
Heck no.
Who, Roland
he's like
Martin and
the
Jason Whitlock?
Heck
he's
no.
like
They are
the
polar
conservative.
opposites.
He's the conservative version of him.
No, they polar opposites, man. Jason Whitlock ain't gonna be cool, man.
Yeah,
He probably gonna ridicule him.
When I had Jason Whitlock on on my platform, um, he came up, but then at the same time, my goal was just to make sure that I got his thoughts and to keep him talking. Um, so it is what it is. I don't know. I like Jason Whitlock though. I think that he's good. I think that he's intelligent. I don't always agree with everything that he says. I think that he goes extreme sometimes, but I like Jason Whitlock.
Yeah, he be going extreme. He be going extreme with LeBron, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
His arch nemesis is Stephen A. Smith. So, but I
For
think
good
that
reason.
if I
For good
had to
reason.
guess, and I don't never want to accuse anybody, so let me be careful with my words here. Not that it's meaningful or anything, not that it's anything bad or anything that I'm about to say, but if I had to guess personally, um, if you put a gun to my head and said, "Is Roland Martin sassy?" I would absolutely say yes. I would take that gamble.
What does
I
that
would
mean?
100% take that gamble. I would
What?
100% take that play. Is Roland
Oh, I
Martin
wasn't expecting
sassy?
that.
Is Roland Martin interested in the alphabet community? I would 100% take that play. Now, I'm not saying that he is because I don't like for people to accuse people of something without definitive proof. But listen, that's pretty wild to have that scrolling up on your stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
I personally always like, the sugar is sugar in his tank or whatever, right? But you can't say that, because you don't know what's happening. So I've always neglected to add that as a part of the conversation because, I felt like it would take away from destroying him and his ability to really be able to substantiate his argument. And I would love to debate with somebody like a Roland Martin. Um, I would love to debate a Roland Martin on any subject, including relationships. Add that in there too. But based off of what I seen, come on, man, that junk that ain't a part of my algorithm. You don't
Yeah.
randomly get a man's butt. I know a lot of people is trying to defend him, but you just don't randomly get a naked man in that particular scene walking down a hallway in order to go and meet other naked people. That's bullshit. Listen, that wasn't just a part of his algorithm. That's something that he already had queued up.
Yeah, why would he be scrolling up though? Like,
That's something that he already had queued up, bro.
man.
Real talk.
I'm not
And
scrolling up on no live stream though. Like, that's the one thing I'm not gonna be doing.
which then begs the question though is
It was
how do
intentional.
listen after you seen that, because I know that people like, especially us, we like to turn a blind eye to stuff and stuff like that. How do you justify still following Roland Martin? I don't know how you justify it.
Yeah, people like them. They like them fun boys. That's why.
Do y'all think that is more, considering this, do y'all think that is more sassy men than we really think that it is? Do y'all think that it's really a lot more guys that are either gay or on the down low or bisexual?
Man,
And
I'm gonna be honest with
it's
you.
not admitting it, not actually
No.
saying it out loud.
No.
Yes, yes. You can't have all these. You can't have all these. Listen, man. Like, we gotta be real about this shit now. You can't have all of these. I guess you could say rights and all these policies created for these people unless there is someone who wants them to be pushed. Like, what are we talking about? They gotta be gay. You think a straight man is gonna be pushing to have bathrooms for kids? A bathroom with kids and men, women and men in the same bathroom? Like, that don't make no sense. A straight person is not pushing that agenda. It's homosexuals pushing that agenda. And they're in the place. It's homosexuals that wanted to push a same-sex marriage. Because 60% of the world is gay. Once you
I
start
60%?
do.
fooling, yeah, 60%. Because once you get out of this part,
You
once
think
you
it's
go over there,
60%, Slimmy?
I believe it's 60%. Yes,
That's a high
yes,
number. That's a big number, bro.
it is. But
What do
you
you
gotta
consider?
remember,
What do you consider sassy, Slimmy?
uh, any
Food.
anything
Food.
homosexual, shoot, like.
But like what? Like what? Do you consider?
What do you
If
consider sassy?
You got to
Anything
give.
homosexual?
a man indulging in anything with his butt being fondled,
Okay.
that's gay.
What if he say? What if he says, "I never had my butt fondled, but I fondled somebody else's butt"?
He's gay. He's gay. He's gay. A lot of dudes is gay. Like them dudes, like circle jerks and all that stuff. I would never participate in nothing like that.
What's a circle jerk? What does that mean?
Exactly what it sounds like. And people participate in that shit and they think it's cool.
No, I
That
don't.
shit is fucking
I don't know
gay.
what is it?
It's when dudes stand in a circle and jerk off, and the last one,
How do you know?
they
How do
do
you
that.
know about that?
I don't know about it, man. People be talking about this stuff on the internet. That shit is gay as fuck. And it ain't people like this that do that. It's people like this that do that. Quentin,
How do you know about those?
I didn't know what it was for years.
When you said
And then
circle joke, I thought that means jerking off like a churn or something. That's what I thought.
Nah, bro. I did not know what that was. Like when I first heard it, when I got to college,
What, Quentin? What are you talking about? What is the?
When I
Well,
I
I
don't know
thought
what
it'd be
he's
like
talking about.
jerking off like the circle. I didn't know it mean like yeah.
Shit, weird, bro. You can't, but you gotta remember. You gotta remember this. You gotta remember this. These dudes, they don't consider themselves gay though. They think that shit is cool.
Oh,
I could never be in a room with another man and his pieces out, man. It's awkward. This shit is awkward as hell.
So you learned this on the internet?
No, bro, I didn't learn that on the. No. I started seeing it on the internet. So when I first heard about it in college, I was just like, nah, people not doing that, bro. People not doing that. Then once you start seeing that stuff, like all over the circle jerk, oh, nigga, what? Playing swords, sword fighting, like, huh? But these dudes don't consider themselves gay.
What is sword fighting?
I'm not going to say.
I don't know what it is.
I'm not going to even say.
What is sword fighting?
Just what it sounds like.
I honestly don't know.
You keep saying that. You said circle jerk is what it sounded like, and I thought that meant jacking off like this. Like, what do you mean?
So, I've only took context clues as to what sword fighting is. I've only taken context clues, and when people say it, I just be like, okay, well, they on some other shit that I don't indulge in.
I'm afraid to look it up because I don't want to fuck up my
Why do you know about all these homosexual stuff? I'm confused.
No. First off, I don't know about it. I've heard it. We not gonna do that. I don't know nothing about it. This is
all new news to me. I've never heard of sword fighting or circle jerk until right now.
Well, I didn't hear about it until I went to college either.
I don't believe you, Quentin.
Yeah, I know you lying.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Lying.
Quentin. Let me tell you why I don't believe what Quentin is saying. Because I think that Quentin literally tried to set Slimmy up.
What you mean?
Mm-hmm. No, that ain't in my browser.
I think that Quentin knew exactly what it was. And he tried to set Slimmy up out here in these streets with the question.
Yeah, no. They talking about I need to explain. I'm not explaining nothing. I just told
you
you what it is.
Web
I don't
browser,
indulge.
and put in P, what would pre-populate?
Well, it won't be penis. I can tell you that. It won't be that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Man, I don't like this. All I'm saying is people talk about this stuff, and that's exactly why I just be careful about who I hang around with, because I don't indulge in none of that stuff at all. At all. But this is why but these people do not consider themselves gay. And that's the problem. That shit is extremely gay. And like, even when you look at mofos that when you hooping, like, ain't nobody ever patted me on the butt.
Blackwood is explaining it to you. It was Quentin in the chat.
No, man. Yeah, but like, no, bro.
Quentin looks like he would set a nigga up. What you mean?
No, Quentin knew exactly what he was doing. It's all good.
Ain't that what Lil Woody be saying? What you mean?
Oh my god.
Yeah, see exactly, Molly.
Do
Like it's a
y'all think
whole.
that? Do y'all think that Roland Martin is sassy?
I never thought that. I think he's weird. I don't think he's sassy.
I never got the inclination until y'all told me about this like naked stuff. But I don't understand why he scrolls up and on, on the live stream. Anyway, he had to want somebody to see that, man. He had to want somebody to see that. So he just, I guess that's his way of coming out. That's his
I
coming
think
out
that
party.
no, I don't think that he intentionally meant to do it because I don't think that he would ever put his platform in jeopardy for it. One thing about YouTubers, especially once you get to a certain level, they very serious about their platform. Uh, apparently his platform wasn't affected as a result of it, but seeing that man butt, that was crazy, bro. That was
I
crazy
gotta
work.
Google
Man,
that. I need to Google see what that's
You need
all
an
about.
X account, bro. Honestly, X is where it's at. X is where everything
Oh,
is, bro.
I got. That's how I found out about a shooting at our airport. I found out like I was at work and they're like, "We have breaking news. We'll get it to you as we get." I'm like, "Motherfucker, it's on X already. What you mean?"
X, bro. There is no censorship on X whatsoever. Fucking ever. Everything is on there. Everything is on X, bro. No censorship whatsoever. What up, fatty?
Hey,
So,
DJ Gary, I'll sneak sass in your girl, bro. Like, don't ever play me like that, man. I ain't
what?
sassy at all, bro.
Fatty,
I
do
ain't
you want to
sassy at
be on
all.
Do you want to be on camera?
If Smitty is okay with a man without the shirt on, no, not Smitty, Slimmy. I'm sorry.
Smitty ain't up here.
Fatty, why don't you
I
wear
don't
shirts,
got nothing to
man?
do.
You want
I
me?
don't
Yeah,
got nothing to
I'll
do with
get you a
that.
shirt.
Yeah,
I'll get you a shirt. Give
you
me.
gotta get
I
a
got you. I
shirt.
get you a shirt.
All right, let me
Wait,
get
Hey,
Angry
hey,
Man up here.
we're gonna have Slimmy and Fatty on the same panel. That's kind of an
I'm gonna get
oxymoron.
Angry Man up here. What up, AM?
and
What's wrong with
Quentin,
Smitty?
Quentin, you
Man,
better stop
Smitty
timing out on
cool.
the chat, bro.
What's
No, nigga,
good?
nigga, I gave you some
I'm gonna
money
get
and you
you up
timed
here.
me
Hold
out,
on.
bitch.
You send me two
Damn.
dollars to insulting my guests. God damn it.
Hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna get everybody up here.
I don't want to talk to Angry Man. He be timing niggas out too.
No, Angry Man is cool. Angry Man is what's up, bro.
Angry Man's
Huh?
a hater.
Angry Man is my guy. Hold on.
I came over here to admit that you were right, Anton.
About what?
You remember a while back you did that show where you talked about a large percentage of dudes being on the DL?
I'm telling you, bro, I believe that it's a real thing. I believe with everything in my heart that it is a real thing in real life. I think that not most guys, I think that there's I don't know what the percentage is. I guess we would have to guess what the percentage is, but I think that there's a huge percentage of guys um, that are sassy.
Once I saw once I saw Roland Martin and
I
and
knew
and them
Roland Martin. I knew Roland Martin was sassy.
yeah, when them man buns popped up there, bro, I was like, bro, what
Yo,
the
you seen the man buns too?
yeah, bro.
Yeah. If you watch the video, if you go on X and you just type in Roland Martin, anything, just type Roland Martin on X. Man buns is it's gonna be showing when he was trying to expose Tyrese, and then he made a mistake and scrolled up or removed it or some shit. And I just seen man buns walking down some kind of gay hallway, bro. Honest to God.
Yeah. And see, that's the
So
part people keep leaving out. It wasn't just see, he tried to say, oh, it was just a dude that was naked. No, he was that hallway he was walking down was yeah.
Yeah, it was wild. It was some wild
What
stuff.
it was the Rainbow Road
I
No,
don't know. It
this is the
in the
pen that I got
hallway.
from Dr. Phil today. You know, I went and shot Dr. Phil again today, Angry Man.
oh, you did?
Yeah, I
That's
flew
what's
out there. I flew out yesterday. I shot it this morning, but I didn't know that Ben Carson was there and Stephen A. Smith was there too. So
oh yeah.
yeah.
Did you give Stevie A that work?
No, they shot a different show because they shoot more than one show in a day. So
Okay.
they shot a different show than me. Um, So my show gonna be pretty controversial though. So it's gonna be pretty
What
dope.
what was the egregious shit that you said this on this one? Who is
I
making license plates this week on this version of
I told
what?
I told a guy that he was weak, that he was feminine. I told him he didn't have enough money to be able to talk to me.
Damn.
This is Dr. Phil prime time, and then he kept talking, and he kept talking. I told him because he wound up having to close up his shop, or his I guess his little restaurant or his shop or whatever, his ice cream shop or something. I told him I was gonna go to his hometown and buy it. Um,
First. When does
And
this air? When, when is this going to air?
I don't know. As soon as they find when we find out when it's gonna air, I'll let y'all know exactly when it's gonna air. So
Jesus.
yeah,
but yeah,
it's pretty
I
interesting.
think I got a theory now about all of these guys that are caping for Kamala.
Mhm.
You know, the black guys that they love to put up there, like they're the spokesman for black men, like the Mark Lamont Hills, Roland Martin, Michael Eric Dyson. I'm starting to feel like all of them are suspect.
Michael Eric Dyson. I ain't heard that name in a long time.
Oh
Mm.
Yeah,
yeah,
he
Mark
fell
you,
Lamont,
off.
Mark Lamont Hill, he kind of dusty to me.
yeah.
He kind of dusty to me.
He
Like I
looked like
seen his shit.
he looked like a broke Floyd Mayweather.
I put Mark Lamont Hill as a content creator in the same bucket as Amanda Seals. I
Damn,
do.
Damn.
I
that ain't
do.
good.
I,
That
I
ain't
think that
good.
all of them is dusty as fuck, bro. Honestly. All of the people that they tried to promote to us on a national scale. But then, they all wind up kind of creating their own content on their
Mhm.
own. Don Lemon, I put his ass in that same boat too. All of them motherfuckers is dusty to me, man.
Yeah,
I ain't got no respect for none of them.
yeah,
I don't think none of them is good.
Is there
yeah.
anyone
Michael,
that is supporting Kamala
Huh?
that is any good? Anyone that is supporting Kamala that is not gay? And there's anyone?
That's good. The only person
Yes.
that that's not gay.
That's what that's what Ham said, just going by his own words.
I don't see a lot of content creators on that side.
yeah,
I don't see a lot of content creators actually on the side of Kamala Harris. I see a
yeah,
lot of regular folk, a lot of TikTokers that, what I'm saying, just let's like, somebody random as a TikToker that I've never seen before. But honestly, and maybe it's just my algorithm, I don't see a lot of people that actually supports Kamala Harris that are content creators. I don't
yeah.
know of any. I can't name one right off the top of my head that has their own platform that is independent and they're a content creator.
It,
Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith.
but you have the Destinies, the Sun
Kind
Pikers, like
of.
the traditional left media.
Yeah, but I mean,
He's
Destiny is he's sassy.
Yeah, but Stephen
You
A.
said
Smith
that's
is,
not sassy. He said that's not sassy.
but Stephen A. Smith, like Stephen A. Smith seems like he's on the fence. I feel like he's talking that talk because he know he got to talk that talk, but I feel like in the voting booth he gonna do something different.
No, I think Stephen A. Smith is a part of the he a part of the cool kids club. You know what I'm saying? He part of their little group. They all know each other. They all work together. They all connected with each other. I think he part of the group. The only two people that I can think of, but all of these people are older. I don't know anybody that's under 40, under 50. I don't know anybody that's under 50. Let's put it like that. That is a content creator that supports Kamala Harris.
Mm,
I think they are not enthusiastic about it because it's not a cool thing to do. I think a lot of people that are voting in Trump are doing it because it's cool. The black person that's voting for Trump.
No, I don't see that. Cause listen,
Nah, man.
listen,
Who
bro.
want to be led by
I,
a woman? How many men want to be led by a woman?
I
as
think people genuinely don't fuck with her. And I think that more people more closely identify with him and that he say what the fuck he want to say when he want to say it and he just real. People don't. I don't think that people
Well,
want politicians no more. They want real people to take over these positions and run that shit.
Yeah, but Trump is not real. Trump is the biggest liar of them all. How you can call real a guy that lies so much?
Okay,
he's
so well,
not a
okay, so
politician,
if
though.
he's such a liar, then how come all of the very same people that is against him were the ones that were supporting him before he ran for president the first time?
Because it was cool. Because
Oprah
it was
was his
cool to
biggest
support
friend.
Trump.
No, no,
Wasn't
no.
Trump supporting Kamala like 10 years ago, sending her checks and
Trump was
shit?
a businessman, so Trump, just like every other businessman, donate to both parties because it's in their
Hmm.
best interest. But what I'm
Yes.
saying is there is multiple different interviews, for example, of him being with and being on Oprah's platform. She literally wrote him a letter, and
Hmm.
she was even like, listen, you can be my vice president, and if I ever run for president, you're the one that's gonna be my vice president. All of these people that switched up on him, all of these people that's acting like they don't like him, they all supported him, and they was all best friends with
Yes.
him at one point.
Yeah, but he's one club, but that's the thing. Trump flip flops all the time, and he supported Kamala in one point,
That's
and
not
he
a
was
flip
more,
flop.
turned to the Democrats than he was to the Republicans.
Yeah,
Actually, the
that's cool.
people would look at him like so,
Yeah.
and then he did a transition.
That's
So
not a
I
flip
think,
flop. If listen, if I'm looking at it from a business perspective,
hmm,
and I want to be able to influence what happens from a business perspective, of course I'm going to play both sides. If I'm looking at it as a person that is trying to, because I've even heard business people say it a lot of times, and they say, why would I ever run for president and give up my influence? Because either way, listen, a lobbyist is going to be a lobbyist, for example, for a company, regardless of who is in office and what party that they represent. Why? Because they still want their best interests to be represented in office, regardless of whether or not you're a Democrat or a Republican. So you
no,
can
that's
be a
fair.
conservative, and you can be a Republican, but it's not going to stop me from trying to influence you to do the thing that's in the best interest of my company.
That's fair, and that's how you run business. You bet on both sides, like the Rockefellers and all these people that became the owners of the world. They usually fund wars. They send money to the both sides,
Correct.
and as soon as they see that one side is winning, they take the money out of the side that is losing, and they end the war and they get all the resources. That's usually
Correct.
how they actually amass power. But the thing is, we have to be honest. Trump is not real. He's a liar, and Kamala Harris is a
He's
corporate Democrat.
absolutely real
He's
because
yeah, no, it's not.
you
It
can't
happened. How is he not? He lies
be,
about
be
everything.
because
What did he
listen. Here's the thing. I have enough sample size of what he's done
Huh.
to make an informed decision of whether or not he actually is an executor of what it is that he said that he's going to do. And at the end of the day, I don't really even give a fuck about what you say. When it comes to these two candidates, I have a real sample size. Thank you. I have a real sample size of what they do. When he was in office in 2016 through 2020, what he did actually benefited from my perspective, as far as my opinion is concerned, and every single thing. I don't see one thing that he did when he was in office, as far as policy is concerned, that actually did not represent or was in the best interest of the American people. Not one thing. Now you
like
could get
cutting
you
off like cutting off trillions of dollars to people that or to billionaires and people on that, like make it definitive as soon as he got into office.
you
How is
talking
that
about the
how does
tax
that
cut?
yes, how does
Do
that
you know what the
benefits
tax cut
the
was? Do you know what the tax cut was? Do you know why he
what
did
he was?
that?
Because he wants more money for his pockets and his friends'
That's not what
pockets.
happened. Okay, so
What?
let me give you a little bit of insight.
Absolutely, yes.
That's not what happened. So this is what
Uh-huh.
happens because business taxes, it didn't affect companies either way. But here was the
Hmm.
difference, right? Let's say, for example, you had an Apple. Is a global business.
Huh.
But Apple neglected the reason why Apple even carried debt as much as cash rich as it is because Apple refused to bring profits back to America so that it couldn't get taxed on it. And what happens
Hmm.
is it kept the majority of its money overseas. And this was happening for all of the Fortune 500 companies that are global institutions. So what he did was is he cut the tax rate in order for them to bring profits back to the United States of America at a lower rate instead of keeping it overseas and continuing to fund a lot of these companies or a lot of these institutions overseas. And so he incentivized them to bring all of their profits back to the United States of America. And that's why we was generating record revenue when it came to our tax base as far as corporate America. that's the reason why why the tax cuts was implemented in the first place.
No,
But a lot of people
absolutely.
didn't. A lot of people don't understand it. They didn't look at the results. They didn't read the policy. They don't really understand what the real play was, and so they say, "Oh man, he just wanted to tax up." We're not affected either way. If you're
Yes, you
generating a lot
are.
of revenue, you know how to do your accounting to where you're not going to suffer either way.
You
Plus,
are selling me. We are selling
you
me trickle down economics. That shit doesn't happen. They literally they get tax cuts and they reinvest in their own company and buy back
But the
stocks
whole
again.
idea of reinvesting back into your own company is what then generates all of the jobs. Because
exactly.
you can't reinvest into your company without it starting to be more jobs that you need and more training. And then that's when everybody started to get into technology. That's when everybody started to take these boot camps, is because it was a shortage of workers to actually do the jobs that they were actually creating in the United States of America. So that's when they start lowering the bar of entry or the barrier of entry for people to be able to get these cybersecurity jobs, for people to become software engineers, for people to get in the cloud, for people to get into artificial intelligence. It was an influx of money that was being invested, and it was a lot of new factories that was coming to the United States of America as a result of companies reinvesting into it. Trickle down economics absolutely works, and that's why you had a
Mhm.
1.2% inflation rate when he handed the keys over to the Biden Harris administration. It's a
If,
real
if,
But,
thing.
but look, here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is one of these arguments that people always raise, but they talk about corporations as if corporations exist in a bubble outside of the economy. They're part of the economy. If you tax corporations higher at a higher rate, that's when you're going to get products. The prices of products are going to go up. This is when you're going to see companies trying to run to other countries to get cheaper labor. This is when you're going to see people losing jobs and downsizing. So whenever he's giving these tax cuts to these corporations, that's actually benefiting America the same way Anton just broke down.
We don't need
Hey,
higher
the
taxes in the
jobs are
United.
not coming back. The
We
jobs
so
are
don't
I
not
got, I
need
coming back.
got.
no jobs are not coming back. They've been laying
No,
off
are not coming back. There's
ridiculously.
nothing you can do. No, but that's the
Wait,
point.
wait,
There's
wait.
nothing you can do. And those
I got,
tax cuts aren't. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I got a question for you, Fatty. Why do you care?
Why would I not care? This is the most powerful
Why?
country
No,
of
no,
the
no, no, no,
world.
no, 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 no,
You
no,
you
no.
asked
Don't
me a
deflect.
question, right? Didn't you
Don't
ask me a
deflect.
question? You asked me a question, so let me answer.
Yeah,
I'm
go
not
ahead.
deflecting. Why wouldn't I care? The United States are the trendsetter of the world and the West. We are dependent of what the United States actually start doing because we have so many connections. We have NATO. We have a bunch of things that are going to trickle and going to affect where I live. So if the United States decide to leave the Paris Agreement, if the United States decides to start a war with somebody, if the United States decide that they're going to embark something with Russia or China, I'm going to feel it. My pocket is going to feel it because you live in the global village. So yes, sir, I do care. Affects people
Well,
that look like me and affects people that are around me. So yes, I can. Yes, go ahead.
if that's the
But
case,
when they giving you the facts, why are you telling them that they're wrong?
Why is that a fact? It's an opinion. I have my opinion.
No,
Anton
no,
has his
no.
opinion. An angry man has his
It's
opinion. What? How is
no, no,
that
look,
a
no. But
fact?
some of the things they
let
were
me say
stating were
something. Let me
correct.
say something.
Yeah,
Let
go
me say
ahead,
this.
bro.
How is that?
That's
How is
crazy.
Here's
you
my
telling
thing.
me that?
Here's my
Let me just
thing.
say one thing, man, before you go. You telling me that trickle down economics works is not a fact; it's an opinion. You might have an opinion that trickle down economics works. I am telling you it doesn't. I can have the right to have my opinion. This is not a fact. It doesn't work everywhere. It might work for people like Anton that earn a bunch of money, but might not work like people like whatever a regular person that doing a 9 to 5. That's what I'm talking
Okay,
about. It's
well,
an opinion. It's not a fact.
No, but there were certain things that they said that actually took place that you said just wasn't true, and that's what I'm talking about.
here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Everybody saw the economic boom when Trump was in office. It was because of what he was doing. Like we got to stop ignoring that and pretending like it's not a reality. Plus, on top of that, Kamala is talking about, oh, well, we're not going to raise the taxes for anybody that makes less than 400,000 a year. And it's like people that make over 400,000 a year, they're not super rich. Like that's not super rich. Like, bruh, like y'all act like when they're talking about taxing the wealthy, right? You
Hmm.
think they're talking about millionaires that are making $100 million and freaking billionaires and stuff, it's still affecting people at that mid level in a very negative way, which affects the middle class. Who do you think most of those business owners are that own those companies that a lot of people work for? That
Yeah,
might mean the that
they're
might
in the
mean the
middle class.
difference between me being able to hire somebody and not being able to hire somebody, because I would have to pay more in freaking taxes, which I'm already paying enough in freaking taxes.
Yes, but that's the thing. If you have a chance to get an employer from Fiverr that lives in Indonesia to do all your artwork, all your thumbnails, all your edits, and all that, instead of hiring an American and have to pay $2,000 per month to that man, you are going to do it. Like this
But
trickle
no,
down
not
economic, the trickle
necessarily.
down economic, like
Not
these policies are actually ending the middle class. We are having
not
the richer becoming richer and the poor
not
becoming poorer. There's
necessarily.
not.
Not necessarily, because here's the problem with this, Fatty. Here's the
Go
problem
ahead.
with this, right? Whenever it comes to you farming out stuff like that to Fiverr and all of that, sometimes the work is crappy.
It's true.
Sometimes the work is BS. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes you want to be able to hire somebody in America in
Yes,
house as opposed to farming it out to some other country where you're going to get back shoddy work.
that's fair. But
I
remember,
will argue that every single person that works for me or works with me, let me revise that, because nobody works for me, everybody works with me. Every single person that works with me is here in the United States of America, and the majority of them are in my city. My editor, I do not have a
mhm,
foreign editor. My editor, he's full time, and he works for me, and he makes a lot of money. He makes a lot of. Now I can cut costs, and I can go when I can hire somebody else or whatever. But I prefer him because I can actually talk to him. I can see him in person. I can see, what type of equipment. I can continue to train him and all of this stuff. And so I know him. He's actually from my city. It puts money into the economy. It puts money back into my city and stuff. All of the people that work for me, the majority of the people that work with me, are in Detroit or they're
because
in the
you are a
Metro
human
Detroit
being,
area.
you have morality. These companies are amoral. Their job is to make money. So the
But
biggest actually cost of a company is the people that work for them. So if I want to make a New York Yankees hair or a Make American Great hat, and that shit costs me $30 to do in the United States, but it costs $5 in China, that's exactly
Mhm.
what I'm going to do.
But
I'm
that's
going
the
to.
whole. But that's the whole idea
it's
of the tariffs. That's the whole idea of the tariffs. That's the whole idea of incentivizing companies. You got to remember, federal government only has so much power, right? Because the federal government is pretty much controlled by large corporations and large donors, right? And I want
Mhm.
to get chaotic in this too. Um, But the federal government has to incentivize. Like when she says, "Well, we want to build 3 million new houses," the federal government is not building anything. They're not building three million new houses. It costs them $165 million at 600,000 per unit in order to build up a permanent homeless encampment over in California, over in Los Angeles, over on Skid Row. Right? So they're incredibly inefficient. They can't do it. And so they then start to throw money at people and throw money at things similar to the infrastructure deal, similar to the CHIPS Act. All all they can do is incentivize in order to compete. And so
yeah,
I
and
think that you need to have business acumen, business relationships, because you cannot tax your way to death. That we see that happening in Canada, and a lot of people are defecting away from Canada because even their capital gains taxes is crazy. It's insane. You can't
and
tax your
see
way to wealth.
and see the thing about it, Fatty, when you're talking about using, farming out certain things, right? I have a particular style of editing, right? And the
Yes.
problem is when you're farming that out to somebody, number
Mhm.
one, on Fiverr, what they're charging to edit a freaking 5 minute video. Most of them, they have like little limits. It's like, oh, 5 minute video, five. It's like,
Yes.
I have a specific thing that I'm looking for, which means I need someone that I can see and I can meet with and I can explain, okay,
Yes.
this is how I want this done, because good help, as you know, is hard to find. And it's even harder when you're trying to farm it out to somebody in another freaking country that doesn't even understand what you're trying to break down. Like I've literally went through this. You
No,
feel what I'm saying?
that's what you and Anton do. You guys don't trust people which are the quality. Like you want quality control. You want to micromanage situations so the brand looks exactly like you want it to look. You want him to know go left, go right. You want somebody that you can trust when you go to sleep. You wake up and there's not a mess that has nothing to do with your brand on screen. But the reality is, DHL doesn't care about that shit. And when you leave their customer support, you are talking with somebody in India because it's way easier to pay 100 people in India than to pay 20 people in the United States that are getting way
No,
more
I
money
think
and
that
they're doing lesser job.
I
He's
think that
not
that's
going to bring the
changing
jobs
though.
back because he can compete with that. It's
I think that
impossible.
that's changing though, because if you look at people are starting to care more about quality than just the cost. I think that people would prefer to pay more for better quality. So, for example, Costco traditionally has always paid its workers more than a traditional warehouse or grocery store, and they always have been profitable and they always boom. And I think it's a balance that you got to have, right? You just can't charge people an incredible amount of money just because they're getting better quality or just because they're
Mhm.
hiring U.S. workers. You also have to give them the value that they want for the money. So everything is not going to be incredibly more expensive. And so you pick and choose the things that you can make more profit from while at the same time trying to balance quality of life and also worker morale and allowing for them to be able to make a decent amount of money so that they can make a living also. I mean,
Yeah.
for me, um, I figure out, so yeah, I pay my editor a lot more. Like my editor makes over $80,000 a year. The other side of it though is that my editor works hard. So he's not just doing editing or stuff like that. He's bringing more value to me. And so he actually takes on more work versus just making $80,000 a year. So, he's also somebody that's in my family. And so I keep the money in the family and all of that other type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's a balance. But I think that people are willing to pay for quality a little bit more
People, companies,
than
no.
no companies too, because people are like
Apple and
listen
China
listen
will
listen
not manufacture that shit in the United States. That shit will be forever in China, Thailand, whatever, because they get the bang for their buck. They can do something for 100 and sell it for 1,000. Like
Here's
these
the thing,
companies are
Fatty.
aim.
But
Huh?
here's the thing, Fatty. I think there's a disconnect in the level of companies that you're talking about.
yeah it
Because
is
if we're looking at what Kamala Harris is talking about, oh, I'm
Hmm?
not going to tax anybody that makes under 400,000, right? Imagine what a company looks like that generates a $500,000 a year. That is not a large company. That's not one of these companies that's trying to cut costs by farming out the work somewhere else. That is a small company at best. It's probably hiring people that are local or something like that. If they're generating 500,000 to $1 million a year or whatever, right? So it's not one of those companies that you're talking about where they're trying to get cheap parts from freaking China or something.
let
So
me let me let
so
me hold on fatty 1 second. Let me get chaotic in here. What's going on, chaotic?
Anton, salute, man. You are the king. But I did write in the chat that I came up here for the smoke.
Okay, I'm
You
with it.
probably
I'm with it.
you probably know what this is about.
I don't.
I, I was live streaming all day. I had a
Hmm.
meeting and I got a notification that you were live.
Hmm.
And what I saw was my dear and beloved fraternity brother and your slander towards him. Now, I'm not a Roland Martin fan at all, politically speaking. But I have to do damage control. Now, you had that man's face up here for an hour. Scroll in the overlay. Something about a booty something.
yeah, I
Now,
seen
let's
it. That shit is
now
wild.
I gotta do quality control because that is my fraternity brother, dear sir. Now, you have no facts, you have no evidence.
I didn't say that he was that. I
You
asked I
okay?
asked a question, and the question that I asked was considering what we've witnessed, right? And Quentin and Slimmy, did I not
Okay, I didn't
preface
see
the
that
question
part.
by saying that I never want to accuse somebody of something that we don't
It's a
definitively have
fact.
proof of? I
That's
prefaced
a
it by
fact.
saying that.
Okay.
And so what I
Okay.
asked was consider, and I gave the additional context of what happened in the video and that he's
I didn't
scrolling
see
in the
that.
algorithm. But what I asked was, my real question is, considering that this happened, why are people continuing to follow Roland Martin when it comes to his political perspective and what it is that he's saying and spewing? And why are men? Because I'm gonna just tell you, chaotic. That was a wild clip. A man with his butt out walking down a rainbow hallway is a wild clip.
Things
So he
happen on
was
Twitter.
walking down the Rainbow Road.
Yes.
Easy. Things happen on Twitter when you're scrolling through.
Nope,
So
not on
all,
mine, nigga.
Not on live stream.
not on
Not on
mine,
live
not
stream.
on mine, not on mine. But you know, after listening to this communist on the panel, Fatty, you can understand the
Right.
liberal mind right there. So of course that's why people are continuing to follow Roland Martin. They're socialists. They love welfare, and I rock with
Yeah,
Fatty. But
but hold on, chaotic. Here's the thing, though. I don't tell people what they should do inside of their households. I have a stance of what it is that I think that men should operate like. But as long as you're not promoting it to other people, as far as trying to influence what happens with their children inside of the schools and the books that they read and stuff, I think it should be a separation. You can do whatever you want in your household. I don't care. I don't
wait.
have to like it, but here's the problem though. The thing that Roland Martin is promoting is a party that largely champions
That is true.
that
That is
as
that is
the
true.
landmark legislation that came with previous President Obama.
Obama, correct? Yes.
And so now when you start to put it to pieces, because I can't just ignore the connecting the dots, right? Oh man, that is a sassy party. Okay. And Roland Martin has some sassy stuff on his screen. That's a crazy correlation.
I'm just here for quality control with my dear frat. That's it.
I got a
You
question.
know.
If he's your frat brother, right?
Yes, he is.
Same fraternity, right? So my question is, what's going on during Hell
Oh,
Week fraternity?
See,
I
see, that's
we,
see right there. See.
we gotta ask
Again,
oh.
again, that man is married. He has kids.
No, he
He's an
doesn't.
upstanding.
Who
He doesn't. I thought he had. I thought Roland Martin had kids.
Oh, he ain't got no kids.
is he
Really?
married?
I thought he was.
He's married.
I know
He
he's
don't got no
married.
kids.
He's
Nah, he
married.
don't
He's
got no.
married to a woman.
Yeah.
No, I don't know because you know that
His wife's name is Jackie Martin.
Okay,
Jackie Martin.
shout out to him being married to a woman. That still does
Like
not
they
mean that he
reverend.
don't. That doesn't mean that he may not enjoy watching men that walk down hallways.
Could it
In his
be
spare
that?
time.
Could it be? So I thought that was okay. Go ahead, Quentin. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is the quality of what that man does?
I learned a new word tonight, and does your fraternity partake in circle jerks?
See, this is what I'm talking about. See,
No.
this is what I'm talking.
Oh, wait, no. No. Hey, hold on, CT. When did you learn about that word? When did you learn about that word?
What word?
Where did you learn
Circle
that, sir?
jerk. Circle jerk.
Circle
When
jerk
did you
is
learn?
not a word. That's two
It's
words.
political
That'll
jargon.
When
be
did
a
you learn
phrase.
about? Excuse me. When did you learn about this term? When did you learn about that?
In high school.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I learned about it at Kent State. I didn't know about it until I got to Kent.
I learned
I
about it on
heard
the
about it.
Anton Daniels after hour show.
We
You
we
really
used to talk.
you really think
Go ahead.
circle joke and like people getting in a circle and just jerk each other off? Do you really believe that?
See,
I'm just
thank you.
trying
Thank
to
you,
understand if you really believes that. Do you really believe like a circle jerk is like 10 people in the room and they like are jerking each other off? Like you really believe this that?
Okay,
That's
so fatty,
term
seeming as how I would never participate or be around, I can only go by what I've heard. Does that make sense? Because I'm not going to be involved. I'm a straight male, so I can only go by word of mouth. So what do you think it is?
So when a person says you gotta be shitting me, you think it's somebody drop their pens and shitting on another person? Like you really think is that, or you think it's an analogy or like something that is comparable? They're trying.
No, brother. This is a term that people use that I've heard multiple people express themselves about.
But there's
Yeah.
there's a bigger question at hand here, okay? The question is, why wasn't Roland Martin surprised when them buns popped up there? Why didn't he say, "Oh my God, what is this?" Like, he didn't do none of that.
He did.
Too
He
calm.
was angry, man. He did. He was on mute, and you could see how irate he was. And again, things happen on Twitter. That's all I'm saying. That's happened on my Twitter account, but I can understand. You're scrolling through something.
I have
You
never seen something like that on my Twitter account. The
No,
It has
worst
to be
thing,
your
no,
algorithm.
bro.
It literally has to
listen,
be
the
in your
worst
Nah,
thing
algorithm.
that
bro.
I've ever seen on my Twitter account is like a fight break out between a teacher or something.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I've never had just a random scrolling and just seen some wild stuff just pop up on my stuff. I
I
just
may
My
have
haven't
seen
seen
like
it, bro.
some
ex
crazy
account
stuff.
is
I ain't never.
nothing but conservative posts. That's it.
Mm,
Like, when I scroll through, I don't see nothing but conservative stuff. I've
I,
never seen no buns just pop up there.
No
Ever.
to be
buns.
honest, I watch corn on X. So if one day I get caught, I'm sorry, guys. Just remember.
Yeah, but
I,
what
I
kind
say
of what
that
kind do you
As long
watch,
as there ain't no
men?
man's buns, you're
no, no,
fine.
yeah, no. But you know that if you scroll long enough, like when you start to
No,
scroll, and like
no,
no. The
no.
5 first posts are related to the first one, and then when you scroll the
No,
7th part, is
nope.
somebody
On my
literally
7th
throwing
page, it
something off
still
the
be
bridge.
fat white
No,
women
that's
on my
literally
7th
X.
page, nigga. Nope.
X and Reddit work the same fucking way. Like you scroll the 5 times and it's kind of related.
Nope.
After that,
Nope.
you are on the deep end. You don't know where
Nope.
you landed.
Every single
By the way,
page on my
I
Pornhub is
can't vouch
fat
for that
white
one,
women getting
Fatty.
plowed.
let me ask you a
Nope.
question then. Is this man, I don't know what this man's job is. He has a fucked up airline, just like mine. So does his job get worse if he's actually on the closet? Is he less competent? Is he somebody that becomes
Yes.
untrustworthy
Yes.
all of a sudden? Like
Yes. We don't
what
fuck with
why
them
is
no
the
more.
yes. Go ahead.
Black people don't fuck with you when they find out that you be getting your buns clapped.
But what is his job actually? What is his position?
That's not true.
He's
That's
just a,
not true, man.
he's a
Political
political
commentator, Fatty.
commentary, but he also comments on things outside of politics. But the core of what he does is he does political commentary on his own platform.
But
Did
Anton,
he
here you go.
does that
I'm sorry, go ahead, Fatty.
contradict anything? Does that contradict anything that he
I think
pushes? Like,
so. I think so because me personally, I think so because when
mm,
I hear him speak, he's 100% liberal. Like he's
Yeah,
100% for the Democratic Party. And I would say that he's an extreme. He's a far left
Yeah.
Democrat, right?
I
mm,
And
agree.
so when you take that into consideration, and then you also take into consideration the things that they're championing and who they're fighting for, and I see Billy Porter dancing on the White House lawn all the time, and all of that type of stuff. I try to figure out what the incentive is because Roland Martin, and here's the key: Roland Martin don't say alphabet community people for Kamala Harris. He says black men for Kamala Harris,
mm.
which I believe is the party that actually emasculates black men.
That is true.
Um,
That's a
and
fact.
so and so when I start tying those
I'll
things
agree.
together, I think that it kind of does lose credibility because the thing that you mask yourself as or masking what it is that you're protecting or what you're advocating for, which is not what's best for us, while at the same time acting like that is what's best for us through alternative, ulterior motives. I think that absolutely makes you lose credibility.
Yeah,
But
Mm.
because
Anton,
the whole reason that all of those guys that are probably on the DL are pretending that they're not is because they know that they're going to lose a level of influence because they have to present themselves as straight males in order to, like, 'cause let's think about it. If all of a sudden Roland Martin just came out of the closet one day just flaming or whatever, how much of his audience is he going to lose?
Most of it.
Look at Diddy. Look at Diddy.
oh my god,
Look at Diddy. No, ain't no, oh my God, for real. When they found out
That's
that
not. That's
when
not.
no, this is very much, man. People not rocking with him like that on no music. They're not rocking
What
with him
about
because
Usher? What about Usher?
No, I
Usher don't
think
have
that
no
there's. I think that
homosexual
there's.
nothing going on.
Yes,
What?
yeah. Literally, Usher was one of the ones that was said that was groomed by Diddy. What you talking about? What about
Yeah, but
Usher?
the thing about Usher, the thing that I think that Usher does right is Usher doesn't entertain the bullshit. Usher don't give a fuck what you say about him. Usher
What
is
about
gonna keep
Prince?
dancing, and he don't answer no questions. He don't do no interviews. He don't have no conversations about it. Usher only care about performing, and he never ever entertains any of that nonsense. He ain't entertained it when his baby mama was there. He ain't entertained it when it came to all of the accusations of him having herpes. He ain't entertained none of these conversations. Usher just keep on, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's all he do.
But
Yep.
that's the thing. Like we are
That's
going
all
to
he do.
pretend like we never supported like Prince or Michael Jackson or these people that are very on the
No,
fringe
it's
of
No,
I don't
whatever
have
it's
a
no.
called
problem. I don't have a problem.
masculinity.
I don't have a problem when people listen. Elton John is Elton John, and people still love Elton John, right? Like
And he's gay as fuck.
I don't have a problem with people being who they are. I don't care for it. I don't agree with it, but I don't have a problem with it because at least I know what you I know what you stand for. It's kind of like with Trump, right? Like I don't agree with 100% of everything that what he say, but I know who Trump is. I don't fucking know who Kamala Harris is. I don't
That's
know
Mm.
true.
who she is. I don't know what her agenda is. She came to Detroit today and had a Detroit accent.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know who this woman is at all.
She's a
I can
pandering.
navigate around a person that I may disagree with sometimes. Me and you disagree on some things, Fatty.
A lot
But
of
guess
things.
but guess
But that,
what? We know where each other stands in a general sense. We have an idea of what it is that we represent. We know that I'm about business. I know who you are. And so it's very difficult to deal with a person that is a chameleon and present themselves one way, which is some of the problems that we've had in the past with other people versus actually knowing what you're getting yourself into and saying, okay, well, this is what I stand for, or this is what I rock with him again, what I'm about, or this is what I disagree with him about. But me and you don't have no problems ever.
no, because
Even if
it's
we
a level of
even if we fundamentally disagree on some things, we never have any problems ever.
because you don't want surprises. You want somebody that even if he's your enemy is going to be predictable. He's not going to blur out of the lines that you establish as either business or personal relationship.
It's
But the
it's
thing is,
it's a respect factor.
yes, yes. But the thing is, I think Kamala is actually that. She's the status quo.
No.
She's
Cap,
going to be the yes, she's going
cap,
to maintain the status quo because that's
cap,
what Biden was. She's not going to
cap.
ruffle feathers. The thing that I think we lose, like we lose kind of sight is all of these LGBT, black people, all women's first, all this dressing. All people care is about economics, wars, and like foreign policy. She's going to maintain the
But
status
she's
quo.
failed on
She's not
all
going
of
to be
those
a
things. If she's
Patty.
maintaining the status quo of what the Biden administration did, then that's a failing agenda.
so Anton and for everybody on the panel, like we're talking all the time about inflation. Inflation is rampant around the world. It's not on the United States. Like crazy things are happening around the world. Do you really think, especially 50 years, the petrodollar now is going to be renegotiated? We don't know even if it's going to be kept, all of that. You really think that Trump is going to get into office and inflation on the United States all of a sudden is going to go the opposite way that all around the world is happening and everything is going to start go
I
down
do.
when the rest
I
of the world is going
absolutely
up?
do. And
How is he going to pull that?
when he handed the keys over to Biden, inflation was at 1.2%.
But it was out. Was come on, Anton? You know
It
that
was at
C-19 had
1.2%.
but Anton, but you know, as soon as everybody got out and everybody starts spending, this is like everything goes like crazy. Even the stock market, everything
I
is
don't think that
highly
that had
speculation.
anything to do with inflation. That wasn't the impact of inflation. And it's more than just inflation. I don't think that it has anything to do with inflation alone. If inflation was the only problem, I think that people can get over that. They can manage through that. But it's not just
Mm.
inflation. It's proxy wars. It's immigration into the country. It's fucking migrants taking over whole cities. It's Chicago
Yeah,
is
that's
$982 million budget deficit coming in the 2025 year. It's
Mm.
Oakland losing and absolutely turning over. It's these cities are basically giving over to crime. It's the liberal policies that's being implemented over in California where they're now basically is signed and it's on Gavin Newsom's desk. He's the final frontier, and we know he gonna sign it. and that they're giving illegal migrants up to $150,000 or 20% of a home's price towards a down payment on a home. When you have all of that combined, because we can deal with a problem, but we can't deal with all of this shit at the same time, and everybody ain't gonna suffer and watch motherfuckers get handouts on top of it. Even people that fundamentally disagree with me when it comes to reparations and stuff, we see eye to eye on the fact. Okay, listen, black people are saying that agree with that. I may disagree with it, but at the same time, I'm gonna say, well, wait a minute. I mean, I do agree. I do disagree with giving out reparations, but you can't give them motherfuckers all of that money either. And they like, listen, we want reparations, and you giving away all of the money over to them, and you said that you didn't have it.
But they are not going to stop under Trump. You really think they're
It,
going to
it
stop
does.
sending money to
I
Israel?
absolutely do.
So you think they're going to, like, Trump is going to come and say no more money
We
to
had
Israel,
record
no
low.
more money to
We had
Ukraine?
record
Come
low
on, man.
immigration into this country. We had record low immigration into this country under Obama. All
Every
Trump did was continue Obama's policies because Obama was listed as a deporter in chief.
Anton, all these problems, like every time I went to the United States, every time I went to LA to watch a Laker game, way before any
Mhm.
Republican, there was every motherfucking corner at the homeless person, a homeless tent, and you walk into the one, and they're like,
Mhm.
that's problems that are already happening. And I think both parties, respectfully, they don't care about that. They're going to try
No,
to push
they. I
away
think
from.
that they do. I think that they do. And
Hey,
again,
Anton.
the policies that was being implemented from 2016 through 2020
Mhm.
was exponentially better, and people enjoyed it. Prices were low, gas was cheaper, right? Your ability to be able to get to and from work, unemployment was at a record low. Everybody was making money. We had no new wars. And again, it doesn't mean that everything is going to be perfect. Nobody is saying that everything is going to be absolutely perfect, but shit was better. It was way better for most Americans, and now you're starting to see a lot of layoffs. You're starting to see a lot of these companies closing. You're starting to see everything just spiraling out of control. McDonald's is paying fucking 20 something dollars an hour over in California, and they closing up shop and moving out. It's crazy. It's when you have that level and migrants are getting EBT cards and cash, and they get free housing, and they get to go to your kids' school, and they get free health care,
Yep.
and they sleeping in the fucking police department over in Chicago, and they was sleeping in the airports in Chicago, and it was being hidden over in Boston. This shit is it's out of control. It's out
Really.
of control, bro.
Hey, Anton. I'm exhausted. I was live streaming earlier today, hopping from panel to panel.
Shout out to
I
you.
do have one. I have one question before I bid farewell. Just yes or no. Would you consider putting this video on private when it's over?
No, this is gonna
Oh,
say this is
well,
public all day long.
Anton, Quentin, Slim, Angry Man, Fatty, salute to you guys. I'll see you
Hey,
guys next
chaotic,
time.
I
All right,
appreciate you,
big
bro.
dog.
And
No
My
problem.
you see,
dog.
chaotic is for capitalism until his friends are involved. Now he wants to hide his stuff. He's a capitalist. Hey, man, can you delete this video? That's going to make you a lot of money, please. So, my friend,
But
I
yeah, I
just
don't know.
I think just you guys have a lot of hopes in people that are up. They are from themselves. Like you have to break all the system down and build it up again. And no matter, I kind of get it, the frustration, but like on the last 30, 40 days, I'm actually making emphasis of going to left and right pundits, and nobody's talking about policies. Nobody's talking about nothing. Is all, is she really black? Is he going to be like, is all performative? Is like kind of like identity politics at this time. I don't think Trump is going to be able to fix it. Even the stock market and the housing market and everything that looks like is hyper inflated all the values. Like if that blows up on Trump's term, because he's going to win probably, I know he's going to be the potato, like the hot potato game. Who started it? Who did it? If it was Trump 4 years ago, or Kamala, or Biden 3 years ago, like nobody, in my opinion, has actually solutions about these problems. Like these homeless that are coming through, these homeless that are on the streets every day in big cities, like in literally in downtown, they're not going to clean up thing because the system is broken. It's fundamentally broken. Trump is not going to come in and says, "Hey, this is easy to solve. It's 2 years. You're not going to be see homeless in Los Angeles. You're not going to have that because the system is rigged."
Well, it's not his responsibility to solve for every single issue that is also on a state's level. But
Yeah.
it is the responsibility of the administration to administer a lot of the things that we need. That also is the crux. It's the foundation of where the problem lies. Right. It's not his responsibility to solve for homelessness in California, but it is his responsibility to close off our borders to illegal immigration. You see what I'm saying? We're not
No,
looking
that's
for. I'm not looking for a savior. I'm just looking for a person that could reasonably just
yes.
do the fundamentals. I
No,
could fix my own fucking house. I can fix my own shit. I just don't need something that's preventing me from being able to do the thing that I already want to do in my own house in the first place. I don't
yes,
want
that
nobody putting no books in the schools that my daughter go to that talks about gender affirmation. That's bullshit. That's a basic that's a basic request that they're advocating for, not only here in the United States of America, but also in other countries.
yes, that's fair. But the fact that you really think that, for example, Trump is going to come into office and stop sending money to Israel, that's crazy. That's
And
crazy
do
to me.
what?
And then that,
And solve what?
stop sending money to Israel or stop using Ukraine as a proxy war and send more money. Like that's crazy. He's talking that talk. As soon as he get there, the powers that be is going to say, "Bro, you can do that.
No,
Just shut up."
he pulled out of NATO when he was in office. And he absolutely renegotiated and he threw the tariffs on China that Biden left in place. And so he
Mhm.
has a track record of actually being tough when it comes to international relations. He
The
has
So
a
you
track
moment,
record. He's the president that actually met with Kim Jong Un,
the
right?
so you
moment he
show.
gets, the moment he gets in the office, that
Hmm.
Ukraine thing is going to be over.
What about Israel?
I don't know about Israel. I can't speak to
That's
that.
a little more
No, you
That's
guys are
been
complicated.
going on.
no,
That's been
you
going
guys
That's
are
on for
complaining
forever.
about the billions of
that,
dollars that they pick and they set outside instead of
that's
spending it on
that's
Americans.
more
You really
that's
think it's
more
going to stop?
that's more complicated.
You see what I'm talking about?
That's more complicated. But you're talking about an issue. You're talking about an issue that's been going on for a very long time. That's like saying is he going to solve the issue in the Middle East? Like that's something that's been going on for a minute, bro.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But this is the double talking of the we need to mind our business and care about our people instead of the people outside. But there's some certain groups that they're going to keep influencing no matter who is in power. And it's not just Israel, it's
So
a bunch of
who do
countries.
you think should be the president of the United States of America, Fatty? From the outside
Both
looking
of
in.
both of them are terrible. I hate Kamala because she's a corporate Democrat. She's just going to do the bidding of the big companies. I just think that the world right now needs stability. Doesn't need a guy that wakes up at 4 in the morning and sends so many random tweets that you are afraid that
We
United
had
States and Iran.
stability under Trump.
No, you
Literally, we
didn't.
had stability. Yes, we did.
He pulled off the Paris Agreement. We already was on a World War II or three, whatever the number is,
But
with
why would he
Iran.
participate in the Paris Agreement when we contributed 85% of the funding towards NATO?
Be- because when you sign a deal and when you actually agree on something, you keep it. This is why
No, no,
they
no,
did.
no. He
No,
said that
Anton, so let's
that it
talk about
was
it.
not fair. He said that it
No, but
wasn't fair for us to participate in it when we're doing the
but you sign
majority
it.
of the when we doing the majority of the funding. So that's why he
But you sign it.
but from a business perspective, it doesn't make sense for the United States of America to participate in an agreement that we have to fund 85% of it. That's
It's
egregious.
he actually it doesn't make sense the numbers, but it makes sense you actually keep your end of the deal because for
No,
example what is happening with the BRICS right now without the Brazil and India and Russia and all that, what they're trying to do is because the United States don't keep their words. Countries in Africa,
no, it
countries
don't
in the
have
Middle
anything
East,
to
they want to negotiate with the United States, but every time the president change, the United States backups in the deals that they have with them. So now they're looking around and they rather do business with Russia or China that actually keeping their part of the deal. They negotiated with the United States, and then happens to them what happened with Gaddafi.
nope.
You have to keep you
I
have
think
to
that the
keep the
deals
deal
that
that
they're
you
ma-
sign.
the deals that listen, BRICS come is coming about because I think it's much deeper than whether or not Trump is honoring its agreement of participating in NATO. 100%.
Is an anti-American organization,
It's
just
not
like
an
most
it's
people.
not an
It is.
anti-American organization. Listen,
It's
the United States of America, and Trump is absolutely right, is tired of being taken advantage of. Um, not only when it comes to our currency, not only when it comes to participating in NATO, not only when it comes to funding the majority of the organizations that a lot of these other countries are supposed to be a part of, but also as far as the unfair labor practices of a lot of these countries that's supposed to be our partners, which is one of the reasons why you had tariffs in China in the first place, right?
No,
When American companies went to do business over in China, they had to give up proprietary technology, which basically enabled China to become a world power, and for them to be able to leverage that technology to create their own companies. But because you had to have a 50-50 partnership, which the United States or you American companies funded. Tesla was the first company to ever go over into China, which is partly courtesy of Trump, which is why Elon Musk has a loyalty to Trump as a president of the United States of America. It's the first company to go over in China to not have a 50-50 partnership in order to do business over there. Whereas they then can ship their cheap products over here, which was also affecting our industries that Clinton signed into office as far as these bad trade policies. And so he had to undo all of the bullshit of all of these lifetime politicians that was bad for American jobs, that was basically draining our economy and giving all of our resources over to other countries. It was a bad deal. It was a
yes,
bad deal. It's been a bad deal for a long time.
yes, but but this is what I'm talking about stability. Like the same way people voted on Trump because he was kind of throwing a rope at the establishment. Every time they get into office, they don't do nothing. They maintain the status quo. They work for the big companies instead of working for the people. This BRICS exists for a lot of time. They only actually start to consolidate right now because they're fed up with the dollar, the way that they use that shit to manipulate the markets, to literally inflict sanctions to other countries and all that. So they are only getting together not because they support Russia or they support China, it's because there's an
They're getting
anti-American
together
feeling
because they're
among the
weak.
world.
They're getting
Yeah, but
together
that's the
because
thing.
they're weak.
But,
They're
but
weak.
Anton, how did the European Union start? It was the same thing. They were weak against the United States. They
Mhm,
were weak against Russia. So they
mhm.
got all these countries together, and now is I think the second or the third most powerful economic group in the world. That's how these things start.
But
If
you
Brazil, India,
again, you didn't
China,
you that listen. BRICS wasn't even something that was being talked about
it was being
until literally over a little over 2 years ago.
no, it wasn't being pushed, but it existed. But like
Correct. No, no,
actually,
no. The concept of it existed, but it was not being pushed
yes,
until literally about 2 years ago.
no, but that's the point. Like actions have consequences, right? When Gaddafi tried to get away from the petrodollar, and that happened to him, and then the war in Russia happened, and everybody sanctioning Russia using the dollar. Like the tariffs happen, and China is getting the under because the United States control that. Like they are
But the
going to
only
find a
reason
way.
that China is partnering, the only listen, it's a much deeper issue. The reason why China is partnering with Russia is because of energy. Now Russia's energy is starting to be affected. On top of the fact that the Chinese are in a war for chips, which is one of the reasons why we are also in a proxy war with Taiwan, right? Taiwan, we're also funding Taiwan. We're not just funding Israel. We're not just funding Ukraine. We're funding the war over and to continue to give them resources over in Taiwan because China wants to take over chip manufacturing and get a leg up on the technology in order to continue to compete with the United States of America. So it's not
Yes,
as simple as just saying that the United States is not keeping their promises. The United States is not continuing to kowtow anymore, and they're exerting power over the fact that they've been taken advantage of all the way up until Trump was in office. And so now you're seeing them trying to leverage each other because they're weak without each other. China has China China is suffering because they don't have the power to continue to control the United States of America. They're being interdependent, and so is North Korea on oil over in Russia. Russia is now being bombed by Ukraine, and their refineries and their actual plants are starting to be bombed, and it's starting to affect their oil, their reserves, right? And then you also see sanctions and an Iran trying to participate and continuing to do business with Russia also. So the only reason that they're coming together is, again, I think that you're right because they're weak, but at the same time, it's more to it than just looking at it and saying the United States of America is not keeping their
and
word.
they don't want to be put. They don't want to be pushed around. And even if you look at the strategies China using against the United States, China is going to win eventually, like sooner or later,
No, they're
because
not.
they're not. Yes, because they are not trying to. They are not doing the imperialistic approach. They are doing the I'm going to offer things because I literally control the chain of
They're
the,
not.
the
But if you
chain of.
look at China's economy is suffering. China, listen, some of the biggest companies, especially because China was being largely propped up by by false manufacturing and false demand for their housing, right? So now when you see companies like Evergrande starting to go belly up, right? Because you see these ghost cities where nobody is living in that they manufactured that they continue to prop up their economy with, which is another
Fact.
reason why BYD even exists, is because they created an economy where they basically incentivize everybody to buy these electric cars. It's a fake economy. It's not real. It's a
And then
perception of power. It's not real power. China's economy
the,
is in shambles right now.
and
the
then on
same way
top of
the
that,
American economy is
top of
too.
that, on top of that, they are literally destroying their environment simply because of how much freaking concrete they're pouring every freaking year. Like they're literally like their whole situation is not sustainable. It's just not. And if Trump gets back into office, it's gonna be it's gonna be even more complicated because they can't. Before Trump got into office, the rhetoric in America was that America owed China, which was ridiculous, right? Not to mention the fact, look at how many companies look at how many companies that China is literally ripping off with all of these bootleg products.
Yes, because
That
they don't
right there
care about.
that right there in and of itself is crazy. Like I seen a video of a guy that was in China walking through this shopping center, and they literally had a bootleg Jordan store where they were selling
Mhm.
knockoff Jordans.
Yes,
It's
because they
like a store, like bruh, like a legit store.
yes, but there's the problem. But that's not a problem for them because they control the means of production. They can make the real, send to the Western countries, and make the fake and sell to their own people and to poor countries and make money on both ends. It's like you literally profiting for people getting sick and people getting cured. You're getting money from both sides. That's what China is playing. They
But that's the whole reason why Trump is an issue, because he did raise that issue. He talked about China stealing intellectual property.
mm,
I
I,
don't know
I
why
don't
I'm
think that can
lagging.
I don't think that can be controlled in mass when they actually
I was
own the
lagging.
means of production. When one country owns the means of production, meaning if they stop producing, the world gets in shambles because there's nothing being important. They get everything. You can stop that type of. You can, like, for example, do what you did for with
Literally-
TikTok,
He's, lit-
but
he's,
usually
lit-
those measures are.
he's literally done that with certain countries where they were operating a certain way, and he said, "Well, look, if you continue operating that way, you're not going to be able to do business in America. I'm gonna hit you with tariffs that are going to be ridiculous," and then they change up.
I need to look because I don't have information about it, but I'll
There's,
trust your word.
there's some company in France. Um, there was some issue he had with France. I can't remember the exact issue, but he told him, he was like, "Yo, everything you ship over here, we're gonna hit it with a tariff that
Hmm?
they literally wouldn't be able to afford," and they changed up.
Yes, what happened here in Europe is that, like, people in Europe were making a bunch of money because they were taking advantage of the Asian loophole, and now
Hmm.
everything that comes out of Asia is already taxed in this, like, is already the country that is going to be on the destination already got 20% of the money that they spend on the initial order in the other side. So it kind of gets tough, but now the products are being imported like crazy because they know it's going to pass customs and they're going to get stuff. So it's not just a little thing that costs $5. His phones, his TVs. Like, if you see on Timu, they're literally selling bed frames. Like, now became something very, very, like, the is an economy. It's not just the small things that you actually get.
I
I
saw
truly believe
something. I saw something in the news cycle about Timu. Aren't they having some kind of issue right now?
yes, yes, because of the intellectual property. All of that, like all of those sites, usually they get a lot of regulations on the West. But in my opinion, like, the United States and China are playing not potato. Like when Anton was talking about the Evergrande, like, they don't want to collapse the economy because they don't want to be their fault. But as soon as one of the countries falls, everybody will go after. And respectfully, again, I don't know as much as of economics as y'all, but people have been talking about the stock market, and now the market literally plummet for the last 2 years, and it keeps going up and up and up. No matter the employment, the employment, no matter what is the metric, usually is speculation. These countries are going up, these properties are going up. Nobody can explain using fundamentals why they're getting the way they got. So between China and the United States, it's just like the dancing chairs or whatever the game is. Who is going to actually get the last chair? Both countries are not thriving the way that we think they're thriving. Thank you very much, Slimy, for breaking the silence with that beautiful comment.
I could tell you why real estate continues to go up here in the United States of America. That's a completely different issue.
It's going everywhere. In my country, it got 30% up on the last 4 years. A house that was 2,000 now is like almost 3,000, not 3,000, 300,000, if not. Like it's going up everywhere. In Spain, they have a massive
You need
problem
to be
too.
taxed more because you're making way more money than the average citizen over there in Portugal in the first place.
And I do. And you know what I pay? American taxes. I get 30% from YouTube, and I get an extra 10 that stays on the United States. So all of you guys on the chat that says Fatty shouldn't talk about American policies, I pay taxes. Shut up. I pay $10,000 in taxes. That's more than J Prince gets. So sorry, not sorry.
Y'all so wild, man. Y'all some wild boys. Any final thoughts? I'm about to read these super chats and wrap it up because I just got back from a flight. So
I
I,
just
I
wanted
just
to say
I just want to
sorry.
say
Go
the
ahead,
fat.
Anton.
I just want to say to Fatty real quick. I'm not going to bring up the situation, but you know the situation I'm talking about that surrounds you know who. I know you had
Mhm.
a field day with it. I didn't get to see it, but I know you had a field day with it. I know you did.
I'm just saying that when it rains, it pours, and it's going to keep raining. I'm telling you.
But
Just
look,
just
I'll say this. I'll say this though. When Iz was doing his show reviewing the footage, and he came up on the panel, I told him specifically. I said, "Now that you're part of the husband club," I said, "Don't fuck up." And he immediately fucked up. So
in 22 business days. But that's the thing. Hey, Anton, he needs new tires. Please go ahead and help. Angry man, bunk bed is not enough. Please, let's give him like a
I don't
cooling.
even
You guys
know.
make
I
too
have
much.
no idea what y'all talking about. To be
Anton,
honest
stop
with you,
lying. You and Q, you guys. I actually, I'm mad that Q is not involved as much as you, because this would be like the cream de la crop content.
why would I
But you
know?
guys,
Why would how
and
would I know what y'all talking about?
you guys matured. You guys grew up. Now you guys do meetings instead of like that's just I can tell you.
he's talking about the other president.
He knows what he's talking
No,
about
no, no, no.
because
I
I
know
said
who. No, no, no. I know who you're talking about, but I don't know what you're talking
you
about.
didn't know your
Oh,
stepson became home. You didn't know that your stepson became homeless
I
and he's
have
sleeping on the blanket.
honest. Listen, honest to God, on my father's grave, I have no
So
idea what the hell you talking about,
you
bro.
wait a
don't
minute.
know that
I didn't
this.
know. Wait, I didn't know about that. I was talking about the marriage thing
No,
in
no,
the
no, no. That was the beginning. First, he lost his wife. Then he lost his house. Then he lost his kids, and now he's on a Salvation Army bunk bed asking for $30 because he has a flat tire.
it.
Oh,
No, he
oh, wait. I forgot. Yesterday
Hey,
they told. Yesterday they told his glizzy is the glizzy truck. That so
wait,
like
stop.
when it
Stop.
rains when it
Wait,
rains
wait,
it
Wait,
pours.
wait, 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 wait. Hold on, angry man. Hold on, angry man. How would I know this?
Because Anton, if I am at 300 people in the chat and I get 7 emails per day, you probably get 1,000 of those, and I know somebody actually put you or
No,
something.
listen, I'm trying to tell you, there's literally zero people ever email me or tell me about anything with regard to. I know zero, nothing
wait,
about this.
Anton, I gotta ask this question because
And
I didn't
that's
know.
the real, that's the truth. I know
Then you guys
nothing
are
about
making too
this.
much money. You guys literally
Wait,
abandon us forever. You guys are
wait,
not even up to par
wait,
with this shit.
Fatty. I didn't know about that. Somebody sent me the email of the charges he caught.
Hmm?
I knew about that. I knew
Hmm.
about him asking her to come back. I didn't know he really lost his crib.
Yeah, he's on a bunk bed on the Salvation Army. Yesterday he was doing a live and he missed curfew, so he had to sleep on. Look at that!
Horrible.
Look at Anton, so sad. Look, look at Anton, sad as fuck.
That's
When it rains,
horrible.
he parks. Oh, that's so bad. That's so tragic. I am actually. Can we do a GoFundMe? I have $2.
That is horrible, bro.
Hey man,
What are y'all?
everybody,
Wait. What are you talking about, bro?
everyone gets what they deserve, respectfully.
Why
I
Anton
don't care.
on the screen?
Are you?
That's
No. All right, tell me you're making this up, bro.
no, I'm
No,
not lying.
you're not making that up, Anton. Because
Oh,
somebody
You're not
told
making
me.
it up
it's
for
not
real?
even lying. Like
No, you're not
there's
making
like
that
some
up.
crazy police reports about things that he's doing to his. I'm going to leave it alone.
How? Wait.
I'm
How
just
do
saying,
you find all of this stuff out?
He did a live stream about it.
Yeah, but how do
it
you
does a lot.
find out about it though?
No. So what happened was I did a live stream where his wife was going home. His wife was saying, "Oh, I'm going home," and da 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 da. And he said, "Oh, she went home because she's bored. She wants to see her family." And when we went and checked his records, like just by coincidence, he said that he had a DV case on him. And then he was like the butterfly effect with the
Wait,
DV.
what made you? Okay, so let me ask you another question. What made you
Uh,
go and check his records?
because there's that person. That person is a known hustler. He's a he's a known contributing member of society. And it was kind of funny because after that was the divorce, and after that he's getting evicted, and after that he was I'm going to have a house by September 1st, and after that was I'm going to the homeless shelter, and after that was and it keeps going and going and going and going. So
This
hey,
crash,
angry, I'm telling
this
you,
crash.
it's
I didn't know about the rest of it. I just knew about the wife, him getting married, and then the little issues he had and her leaving. Last thing I saw he posted was him asking her to come back. I didn't know about the house, none of that
yes,
stuff.
baby, come back. She's not coming back. Like she filed for divorce, and they have.
I I don't listen. God bless
That's,
y'all.
that's
Sounds like a very difficult situation to go
You
through.
have his PayPal, right, Anton?
Huh?
You have his PayPal, right?
I listen. I don't wish bad on anybody.
Hmm.
me.
Um I hope that everything works out for him, but I don't want to know. I don't want to be involved in it. You won't ever hear me talking about it. I don't want to be a part of it. Um I'm just going to stay focused. I'm going to
Can
stay
you give him a
focused.
show? Can you give him a show again so he can get back?
I am on to different things. I got my people, I got my crew, and we rocking out and we doing our thing, bro.
I'm going to pay his ticket to go to the meetup. What is the closest to Milwaukee? He's going
Fatty,
to like
man, come on,
he's
man.
going to just
Come
show
on,
up there.
man.
Hey, what's up? Hey,
Come on,
oh,
man.
Quentin, can I get a five? I got 500.
No,
But
that
you
ain't
know what,
cool,
Fatty?
homie.
Listen, let me
That
hold you
ain't cool.
accountable. Let me hold Fatty accountable really quickly. Fatty, you should really
Uh,
be above this at this point.
I should be what?
You should be above this.
I didn't push nothing. Did I marry him? Both of them got married to make me
No, I'm
jealous.
saying that.
What the
Listen,
hell happened to do with that?
listen.
Nah,
Both
you
of
don't
them
kick
got
a
married
dog.
to
I'm
You
make
don't
me
kick
I'm
a
jealous.
dog
saying
What
out
the
his
hell
that
have I
house,
done to do
bro.
with that?
I'm saying that this does not add any value into your life.
What did I? Oh, I joined the
Like
bag
it's
chasers.
I think it's
I
listen.
joined the. I'm
I'm
getting better. I
but
joined the
no,
bag chasers
what I'm
2 weeks.
saying is
Uh,
it's cool to rib and stuff like that on people that you in
I'm very.
competition with, but
Mm.
at some point you got to go beyond that. You can't dedicate your energy to it. That's what I'm
But
saying.
there's But that's the thing, right? I will report the news. I'm not going to interfere. Like you see what I'm saying? I just report the news. I became a bag chaser 3 weeks ago. I'm on Angry Man 15 tier, 50 tier Patreon. I'm trying to be better. Look, I'm watching videos, try to hook up, try to make a studio. I'm going to start to do shows with my t-shirt on. I'll try to do better. And Quinton,
No,
if you
you
block
not.
me again, I see you when you come on my chat. I saw what you did. Pussy.
Huh?
He was timing him out on the chat. I was trying to type and he was timing me out.
Let me say for the record, because I didn't know about all of that. Let me say for the record, I agree with Anton. I hate that it's happening like that to him, because I don't wish nobody losing their crib or their kids and none of that craziness. That's messed up. I hope it does work out for him. But Fatty, you on a whole nother level of demon time, bro.
No, I'm not. I didn't do. And Twinton time me out again on the chat, Anton. I'm snitching. I didn't do. I literally didn't do nothing about it. Like I had the power to actually throw the last stone, but I said that man is drowning. If he drowns, he drowns. If he swims, he swims. But I believe that he is the Deadpool of roaches. He will forever survive. He's immortal. There's nothing you can do. That man is going to respawn 1,000 million times because there's always somebody
Pool of
to save.
roaches is
Yeah.
crazy, bro.
No, but that's the reality. Is the Deadpool of roaches. No matter what you do, he always responds. So
Hey,
I'm
Fatty, why
savoring
you
the
got
time
why,
until somebody pulls up and save him and give him a mansion and like $1 million so he can do his thing because they felt pity for him. So
At what point do you just stop? Because this is a human.
he's
yeah,
going
like
to
why you
jail
got so much
now.
animosity?
He's going
Why
to
you got
jail now. That's when I stop.
why
Listen,
you
I
got so much
can't.
animosity toward him, man?
No, listen,
Hmm?
listen. I'm gonna say this too. I would like for Fatty to be above it, and just to keep it content. You know what I'm saying? If you just keep it content and be in competition in that way, then that would be cool. But we don't want to wish like real life bad
Oh,
things to happen
no,
to people.
I don't want him to perish. I just want him to suffer. And you know what?
Why?
I will take your words in
That's even worse,
consideration.
nigga. I rather die
No,
than suffer, nigga.
no, I will
Shit.
take your words
But
in
what?
consideration. I will forfeit one of the things that I'm going to do. I'm not going to go after his wife. Okay, you guys
And
got
look,
me.
look,
You
look.
guys,
I don't like Buddy
is
in
is
no way,
is
shape, or
is good
fashion.
advice. I was going
What did
to
he do
fly
to
his
you?
wife. I was going to fly his wife to Portugal, but I'm going to stop since you guys like
He has
talk with
Floor
me.
has a front.
Wildin', bro.
Flemmy. Floor has a front butt.
Jesus
Hey,
Christ.
stop talking
What
about
I
my
gotta do?
future wife, sir.
I don't, no,
Shut
no,
up.
no, no, no.
Are we
What
not
did this
listen,
dude
listen,
do to you?
listen. I'm
And
not
on
going
that,
I'm not
and
going to
on
talk
that note,
negatively. I refuse to talk negatively about people in particular.
Yes, let's go in.
Me personally, my strategy is to keep it 100% content. So
Yes,
I might talk negatively about content that somebody says or created, or I might be in
Oh,
competition with people. But I personally do not wish bad on anybody in real life. I don't. I just don't wish bad on people in real life.
I
and
do.
on that note, appreciate you having me up here, Anton.
Well, hold
Fatty.
on, angry man. Let me read these super chats real quick,
Oh,
bro.
go ahead, bro.
Y'all crazy, y'all wild. Anwar Williams says, rumor mill Elon wants to buy YouTube. Elon can't
ooh.
afford
That was
YouTube.
terrible. That would be
He said he
terrible.
can't afford it.
No, he cannot afford YouTube. No. Listen, bro. Let's be clear. Alphabet is a multi-trillion dollar company.
Yeah.
Okay. Elon, listen, he the man, he the richest man, but we talking about a corporate. You got to remember, YouTube is owned by Google.
Yeah.
All right. This is not an independent corporation. This is owned by Alphabet and Google. All right. I don't think that he wants to buy it anyway because he already has his own platform. Why would he buy a competitor? AR Smitty says not Roland searching for the bussy. Messi says, in my opinion, Roland is a closeted turbo bottom. Jesus Christ. Blockchain Brian
Sheesh.
says, shaking my head. Cat Williams comment about 2024 continue to raise his head. All lies will be exposed, man. 3.5 more months left. What's next, bro? Man, listen, I don't know. I don't know. Angry Man had a great combo tonight. Shout out to AM. I appreciate him. Antonio Watkins says Roland Martin was doing extracurricular research. Biz Q is in the building. Says, see, foreigners only want what hurts Americans. Point invalid. The hope out jobs companies leave to them. Jazzwiz Mans, we know Jazzwiz always want to simp. Chaotic, hat is trash, Kamala for president. Blockchain Brian, I appreciate you for the 20 ball, says inflation at 2% is vital for a healthy GDP and a prosperous economy. Trump is the third best of all time at 1.4%. Also, inflation widens the wage gap. VP Harris' plan will add to inflation and their administrate third worst inflation of all time. Julius, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you, blockchain. Julius Jermaine says this is the closest we'll ever get to Fight Club. So appreciate this moment. No, we had constructive conversations.
We don't do that anymore. Anthony
Uncle
started
Ben Rice's nephew says Bootygate scandal. Ray Ann Dreamscape Planners LLC says she dropping that super sticker. Thank you. I appreciate you for the super sticker. Jazzwiz Man says, in hip hop and R&B, guys like Usher, Diddy, and Meek Mill has to stay on the down low. They would lose many fans if people knew their sexuality. Antonio Watkins says maybe he is trying to do something different with his hamburger and searched black buns. Shout out to everybody that contributed into the platform, held me down, and I appreciate everybody that showed up. Shout out to AM. Shout out to Fatty, and shout out to Quentin and Slimmy and Chaotic and the callers and everybody that supported the platform. I appreciate y'all. Any final thoughts for anybody before we get up out of here?
Shout out to Queen Caitlin Clark.
Shout out to Caitlin Clark. Anything else? I appreciate y'all also for showing up too and showing love.
No doubt.
I'm Fatty from the United Negro of America, and I approve this
Stop.
message.
Stop.
All right, y'all. We out. Peace.